and gentlemen, welcome. We are live from Greenwood, Mississippi for Attitude MMA Fights 20. I'm Eric McMahon alongside my friend and Jiu-Jitsu black belt, Grant Gibbs. Tonight on the card, we have a great main event. We have Josh Weems, who is fighting a last-minute replacement, and he's always tough, always ready to step up against anybody, Jeremy Rogers. Not to be outdone by the co-main event, Grant, who may steal the show here. We have James Warfield coming off his razor-close decision loss to Joel the Realist Willis, fighting the knockout artist, Bobby Taylor.
Yeah, and James Warfield, we're talking about a veteran guy, a guy who's fought a lot of fighters in the UFC. We'll talk about that a little bit later as we get closer to that fight. Bobby Taylor, obviously, he's done this guy can knock folks out. I think these two guys are going to get the fun to
I really, really hope so. Not to be outdone there, we got another pro fight on the line. So we have 3 pro fights tonight with a bevy of amateur fights. We're getting ready to start it out. Let's go to Jamie for the first fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Attitude MMA Fights XX rated, brought to you by all these great sponsors this evening. Pay Dirt Sports Marketing LLC, Wolfpack MMA, our title sponsor this evening, Kirk Brother Powered Sports. DriveAKirk.com. They got locations Batesville, Cleveland, Grenada, and Greenwood, Mississippi. And for my thrill seekers out there, make sure you check out KirkBrotherPowersports.com. Our first matchup this evening is brought to you by Snap Fitness 24/7. Locations in Greenwood, Grenada, Batesville, Oxford, and Clarksville, and many, many more. Check them out online at snapfitness.com. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Matt Howell.
And we are getting set to see our first fighter of the night, Matt Howell. He is not only the owner, but also trains out of All Fitness in Grenada, Mississippi. Got a chance to talk to him. He's really excited to fight here tonight. This is his debut fight, Grant.
Yeah, he's got a boxing and wrestling background. Been training for a little while, getting ready for this fight, so we'll see how he does here. You know, you never know in a debut fight. We'll see how things go.
Debut fights, I mean, anything can happen, especially with amateurs here, especially their first fight. Nerves are going to get a hold of them. But this guy seems like, talking to him, he was really cool, calm, relaxed. So I'm really to see what comes out of this. He looks like he's, you know, not the youngest guy in the world, so he's not coming in here 18, 19 years old with just a flood of emotion. So I really think in an amateur fight, probably a little bit of an age difference will, you know, kind of tip the scales in Matt Howell, but it's hard to tell until we get in here because you really don't know the skill level of these amateur fighters, especially debut amateur fighters.
Exactly. Yeah, it looks poised there, looks ready to go. We'll see how it goes.
Awesome. I can't wait to see it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Johnie Hudson.
And his opponent tonight, again making his debut, 21-year-old Johnie Hudson. Now, Grant, me and you got a chance to talk to this guy a little bit before the fight. I could see the intensity in his eyes 2 hours ago.
Yeah, definitely. Army National Guard, so you know he's coming in with that military mindset, ready to fight. He's been training for about 5 months, and he's out of Cleveland, Mississippi, I believe. Yeah, Wolfpack MMA, Coach Tony Delahousey. So we'll see how he does. Yeah, he looked very intense, looked ready for the night.
We can see him right now. He was getting greased up. He is stoic. He is ready to go. Got a lot of energy. Like we said, as a debut fighter, we want to make sure we can, you know, get a hold of our emotions early. But he is looking ready to go. Getting ready, set to go to Jamie for our first fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first contest is an amateur bout. It's got over 3 5-minute rounds in the catchweight 175-pound division. Introducing first in the blue corner, a hybrid fighter making his Attitude MMA debut, standing at 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 172 pounds, fighting out of Grenada, Mississippi, representing All In Fitness and Team War Ready. Make some noise for Matt Howell! Ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner, a freestyle fighter, also making his Attitude MMA debut, standing 6 foot even, weighing 168.7 pounds, fighting out of Cleveland, Mississippi, representing Wolfpack MMA, Johnie Cage Hudson! Our third man in charge of the action, Mr. Jason Aldridge. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it on!
Well, I'll tell you what, if this fight's as good as the stare down, this might be a good one.
And you know what? Our ring announcer, Jamie, definitely got us started off with the intensity. Referee for tonight is Jason Cageman Aldridge. Literally, the guy had an 100 amateur fights. So if you want anybody in the cage to do this, that guy. No touching of the glove right here.
Spinning back fist from a little bit of distance.
Oh, got kicked with a couple hooks. Turning his back to him, that is never a good sign. Let's see what kind of guard he has.
Seeing a little bit of an S9 here. Now he's trying to reverse it.
Giving up his back, that is a really bad position.
Like he's going for a little bit of a Saramagi there, but that's never good. You cannot give up the neck like that.
Never.
It's more of a headlock throw here, and it's going to get your back taken.
He's doing the right thing. With very little jiu-jitsu training, he's fighting the hands right now, which is really, really good. With no hooks, and it's going to be hard to finish here, but he's got the finish. That's just the strength of Johnie Hudson right there.
You're looking at that happening early in the fight, so there's not a lot of sweat there already. He's able to get the grip with his body and wrap up the rear naked choke there.
Yeah, and unfortunately, as an amateur fight, you can really see that the ground game didn't really translate from that. Once we hit the ground, never really recovered the guard, gave up the back, and it's only a matter of time.
So we're going to send it up here to Jamie in just a second, but I tell you, good way to get it started off. Very good debut.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 39 seconds in the first round, winner by rear naked choke, the red corner, Johnie Cage Hudson!
I'm here with your winner, making his record 1-0, Johnie Hudson. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I trained really hard. These two right here today are my sparring partners who made me the fighter I am in just 4 short months. I'm ready to kick some more fucking ass.
Apparently he's ready to kick some more, I'm not going to say it. But one thing that didn't come across watching the fight is you came out, you came aggressive, and you hit him with about 2 or 3 clean hooks that really set him reeling. When it's in here reeling, it really looked like you knew what you were doing out on that. He didn't have to seize it, maybe you did. Gave up the back and you matched it on really, really quick. Is that kind of your game plan?
Actually, not at all. My game plan was to come out and go to the spinning back fist, and I didn't know that one, but it looked really ugly. And then I took them, and my ground game actually ain't all that good, but I saw the choke, and I just went for it. Make sure I wrap my legs around and just ended it.
Well, you got that tap. Give it up for 1-0 Johnie Hudson.
Great job there. So we've got Johnie Cage Hudson, 21 years old, been training less than 5 months.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, are you having fun yet? I said, are you having fun yet? Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout this afternoon, this evening that is, time flies when you're having fun. The Howell Law Office in Grenada, Mississippi. Google her, check her out. Sabrina Howell, attorney at law for all your legal needs. I hope I have you on retainer for later. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, KeAaron Harris.
ready to see our first fighter for the second fight of the night. We got KeAaron Omega Harris. Originally from Texas, now fighting out of Memphis, team BLA MMA out of Memphis. Obviously looks like a big guy, looks like he's a heavy hitter. Again, another debut fighter. Kind of hard to see, I'm sorry, actually not a debut fighter. He's 0-1 right now. He hasn't fought in a number of years though. So really anxious to see if there's been improvements in his game since then. Not really know what to expect on these early fights. That's why some of these are the most exciting fights on the card.
Yeah, they really are. So you're looking at a guy who's only 25 years old. He's been training for a while, had a little bit of a taekwondo background, then moved on to boxing. So looking at probably a little striking matchup. We'll see how he does with that. But like I said, not a lot to know until we see it. But definitely looks like he's ready to fight tonight, so we're looking forward to this one.
Absolutely. Get in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Frank Rayford.
Maybe even before. Maybe our last game with the Johnie was cast. And the Johnie wasn't the last or exposure to a predator. It's not what gets you killed.
Flair for the theatrics.
I know, he's probably waiting for that music to kind of drop the beat, as the kids say, right?
Here we go, coming out of there.
Oh, I kind of knew it. So now we got Frank the Jackal Rayford getting ready to make his way to the cage. Now, he's a Brawler's Den fighter, 22 years old, out of the Brawler's Den. And this is the first Brawler's Den fighter that we've seen with him. I've repped so many of these guys' fights. I've judged so many of these guys' fights. I've commentated on some of these guys' fights. The one thing that sticks out is these guys come exactly how their names sound. They are brawlers. They are not scared of the fight, and they're ready to go each and every single time.
Yeah, I would agree. And so we're looking at Frank here, who's going to be his debut fight tonight. He's 22 years old, and he's a cheerleader for the Northwest Mississippi Community College, believe it or not. So his teammates, I think, have been giving him a little bit of a hard time about that. We'll see how that translates tonight in the cage.
Hey, those guys are athletes, let's be honest.
No joke. I'm not disagreeing.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest is an amateur battle scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Introducing first, in the blue corner, a freestyle freestyle fighter with an amateur record of 0 wins, 1 loss, standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing 221 pounds, fighting out of Memphis, Tennessee, representing BLA MMA. Make some noise for KeAaron Omega Harris. Ladies and gentlemen, the red corner, making his Attitude MMA debut, an orthodox fighter, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing 220 pounds, out of Byhalia, Mississippi, representing the Brawler's Den. Make some noise for Frank the Jackal Rayford. Third man in charge of the action, Mr. Jason Aldridge. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it on.
Are two big boys, 205ers getting ready to go on. Now, one thing I love about the light heavyweight division is these guys have knockout power any punch in this division.
He still has some good speed. And you see a good mix between middleweight and heavyweight here on this side. They look like they're ready to go.
Not much of a filling out process. Oh my God, KeAaron, right off the bat. Let's see what kind of finishing power he's got.
KeAaron said he was a little bit more of a striker. Wasn't as comfortable on the ground.
Man, we are getting some serious bombs here in the first 20 seconds of this match.
Yeah, definitely an answer back there. And they're throwing some haymakers. Now working a little bit of a clinch, getting the takedown right
Frank
there.
Rayford coming with a huge judo toss right there. Let's see what kind of guard KeAaron has.
So we've got Rayford here transition straight into the half guard. Trying to pass a bit, trying to pinch a knee through. I'm not seeing much here from KeAaron underneath. He's going to try to get out of this. He's going to have to start bumping the big underhook.
He's definitely going to need to get on his hip as well. Being just stuck on his back, you can see Rayford is really just kind of shoulder pressuring him down right now. Not really trying to do much damage now, he might, but really settling him down.
The guard is open there, posturing up.
Big strikes, and this one is over. That is a first round knockout from Frank the Jackal Rayford, and that was a huge ground and pound knockout.
We saw the half guard there kind of loosen up with the strikes. He was able to posture up and get high and then just start raining him down. You know, you can't take any shots from a big guy like that.
That was some vicious punches, and that's what we said about the 205-pound division, light heavyweights. Not only did you see the speed with him, obviously the cheerleading background, he's an athlete, the power that he had in those shots. And to come back from getting flipped and dropped in the first 10 seconds of the match.
You saw him get flipped, he came right back, got back up, and then flipped KeAaron back. He got right back into the scramble with him, and then we see the takedown there, and then after that, you know, your ground game is going to fail you. It's going to be a bad day for you.
Absolutely. KeAaron is on his feet now, looks to be okay, so all's well that ends well. Good learning lesson for him. Got to keep that guard a little bit more out.
Yeah, got to work on that for sure. Next time he comes out, let's look at the left.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 1 minute 4 seconds of the first round, we have a knockout. Our winner, the red corner, Frank the Jackal Rayford. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eric McMahon.
I am here with your winner, Frank Rayford, and all I gotta say is, neither one of you wasted any time in getting onto this page tonight. So, I want to go back to the first 10 seconds of this fight. KeAaron came out, flipped you hard, dropped you. Did it hurt you? Sell you? Because it really didn't seem like you were playing out the rail right there.
It was a bit of a I just looked at the case and go where the is. So I did what I was trying.
Well, after Tom got that foot, you flipped to that, was trying to put on his back foot, grabbed him, throwing the judo balls right down onto the ground, went straight from that hard, posture up, bringing out some huge punches. That's the more game plan for the ground and pound game.
Just a ground and pound. And I just went forward.
He just went forward. He's an MMA fighter. Give it up for your winner, Frank Rayford.
So Frank Rayford there, the brawler, is going to go to 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise one more time for both of these competitors.
Excellent fight there, great game.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is brought to you by Sleepy Steve's Mattress Club, located at 711 West Park Avenue, Suite B, Greenwood, Mississippi. Give them a call, 662-219-0589 for the best night's sleep you can get. Check them out at Greenwood today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Justin McCullum.
Well, so far we've had a couple of first-round finishes there. Pretty good work tonight for the first 2 fights.
Frank, that last fight, Frank dropped some bombs. I went in there, and you might not be able to tell from the broadcast, but he had probably a 2-inch laceration from that first
Just about
punch.
bringing that up. Yeah, clearly can see that. Pretty good lick there across the eye.
Oh man, and he just, he's like, I'm just gonna stick to my game plan. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and I'm like, well, I wanted to expand on it. Like, what is that? Just throw bombs?
Yeah.
And he was like,
It looked like your chain fight.
yeah. So
Yeah, I'm going to throw bombs, and then when I get on top of you, I'm going to posture up and throw more bombs.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you can do that. That's a great.
You know what? Actually, in truth be told, he did a really good job because originally when he took him down with that judo throw, he was in his half guard on top, and he just smothered him. Smothered him for about 15-20 seconds just to say,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Lincoln Hendricks.
So here we go. We got Lincoln Hendricks coming out here.
Lincoln Hendricks, 17-year-old debut fighter.
How impressive.
You don't want to know what I was doing when I was 17. I was still like riding my bike and doing crazy, stupid, dumb stuff. There's no way I'd have the maturity to get into the gym every single day and prepare for my first MMA fight. Not only that, I mean, this guy is looking great.
Fighting out of Shackleford MMA and all his ranch out there in Shackleford. I mean, obviously, a guy who's been around this area for a long time. Lots of great fighters. He's a great fighter himself.
He's a legend of the game here in the Mid-South. It makes us to see what kind of composure a 17-year-old has. We talked to him beforehand, and he's like the rules of two fighters.
Yeah, he didn't act like this was any different than any other night for him, which is pretty impressive. Even right now, you know, at cage side, he looks like he's ready to roll.
And you know if Shackleford is going to let anybody fight, especially at the age of 17, they're going to be prepared.
It's a great team. Got lots of great fighters there. Lots of great jiu-jitsu players.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Justin McCollum.
Justin McCollum coming to the cage. Looks like he's having fun here, ready to get rocking and rolling.
Got on his Reebok UFC fight kit. I guess he's channeling that inner one to get to the big show.
Hey, listen, and I didn't talk to this kid before this fight, but this fight game is getting younger and younger by the year. And it's amazing the skill set that some of these people are coming in.
Yeah, both of these guys look very young to me. He's fighting with Russell Jones kickboxing team Ruthless.
Fighting out of Bremen, Georgia. Making a trip down here from Georgia. So, you know, I think you got to be legit to kind of make the road trip and take on another young kid in his hometown. So, really anxious to see, you know, because some of the other fights, you see some of the debut fighters that are a little bit older, they're a little bit more one-dimensional. I know that Lincoln Hendricks came in, he's never trained anything else other than MMA.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing first in the blue corner, making his Attitude MMA debut, a mixed martial artist standing at 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing 136 pounds, fighting out of South Haven, Mississippi, representing Shackleford's MMA. Raise the roof for Lincoln Hendricks! Ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner, a kickboxer also making his Attitude MMA debut, standing 5 feet 6 inches tall, weighing 136.8 pounds, fighting out of Bremen, Georgia, representing Russell Jones Kickboxing and Team Ruthless. Here we go for Justin McGrim McCollum! Third man in charge of the action, Mr. Jason Aldridge. Let's get it on!
Yeah, continuing on what you were saying there, these younger MMA fighters are just so well rounded. So really interesting to see how both these guys can keep up here tonight in the big fights.
Touch your gloves, great sportsmanship. And right off the bat, Lincoln is coming.
Jumping takedown there. The jump guard.
It was so fast. Look at the speed of these guys.
Yeah, from the angle we had there, I couldn't really see what happened. Just heard the sound.
Justin with a huge spinning heel kick. It's kind of hard to keep up with his action with how fast-paced these guys are.
Well, it looks like these guys may have a little taekwondo background on their stance. I'm not sure about that, but we'll take a look. Well, lots of kicks to start out here. Feeling each other out with
Hendricks is definitely kind of taking the center of the cage now.
Oh, nice shot there, though.
He came right over the top of that right hand. You see, he put that jab in his face. He came right over the top.
Nice leg kick there.
Definitely, I'd say taekwondo background from McCollum. He's definitely doing a lot of spinning attacks.
Trying to take it back to center of the cage, too.
He loves that overhand right. bringing off. So. Now you can see we're just kind of settling in there, Now this is where training and technique are going to come in.
Oh, caught the kick there, and then hit him with a right hook. Got the clinch work here against the cage.
Now right here, it's like, what do you do against this cage? You really kind of fight for head position. We're in a little bit of a bad position with the referee, but they're both big and underhooks.
They're going to try to pummel there and spin. Nice little wrap.
See, the one thing that Lincoln Hendricks is doing a good job of is he has head position. State of Mississippi answer, we can't go knees to the head. That's what I got to love about Mississippi.
Elbows rough, right?
Absolutely. Even 12-6 are legal here in the state of Mississippi for amateurs. The speed with
oh man, try to go for the spinning back kick there. Lincoln ended up on top here in the scramble. Throwing some ground and pound. Tried to go for an armbar there, but it wasn't really.
McCollum, still you could see had an active guard, so this kid does know what he's doing on the ground.
He needs to get out of this situation quickly. He's not where you want to be sitting underneath Lincoln here throwing those kicks. Got to try to look for the opportunity here in technical stand-up if you can.
Absolutely. He's got the cage against him, so it's hard to go back right now. We'll just see what kind of happens, whether Aldridge is going to stand him up if they keep, if Hendricks isn't going to jump in.
See, though, he's using his legs to kind of actively protect there. Got his hands up ready and just tries to jump over the top of the strike. But listen, to Lincoln's credit here, he's comfortable. Right now he's jumping in there. He's comfortable with throwing those leg kicks. Now he's trying to really range.
And there we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, round number 1 is in the books. Make some noise!
Now that was definitely a high-paced first round. We can tell we got some young fighters, but we can tell we have some fighters with some
Ladies and
serious
gentlemen,
skill.
one time for your attitude MMA ringer.
Yeah, and I was so into that round, I didn't even hear the clapper or the bell, to be honest with you.
I heard the bell late. I did hear faintly the clappers, but I couldn't tell now. Now, what does McCollum need to do to kind of slow down Lincoln Hendricks?
Well, what we saw there was in the scrambles, he was kind of losing in the scramble situation. He did that twice. So, and that's going to cause him to lose on the judges' scorecards there because he's in a down position there, and Lincoln's standing over the top of him, raining kicks and strikes, right? Back and then got the
Seconds out, please. Seconds out.
So if he's going to throw those kicks, I agree with you. He needs to be within range there to make those kicks count.
Absolutely. Both these kids look like cardio is not a problem coming in.
Ladies and gentlemen, round number 2. Make some noise!
Well, very strong end of the round there by Lincoln, I thought.
Absolutely. I got him up 10-9, 1 round to nothing. Definitely round number 2.
Here we go.
McCollum jumps right in with that kick though. He's not scared to throw him, even though that last one got caught and he got tapped.
Good range there, though. Just got to watch and make sure he doesn't get that ball.
It'd really behoove him to maybe throw some punches ahead of that and really set that kick up.
Absolutely. Yeah, he's not really using the striking much at all to set up the kick.
Jab or right hand straight before that up high.
Man, when Lincoln comes after you, he just comes all in.
He does. His speed in and out is really, really good. Kind of reminds me of a fighter we have in the main event tonight, Josh Weems. He really does it very well.
Absolutely. Look at him. He's just coming out of it. He's got to be careful there. Coming in with his chin up and just throwing.
Yeah, he's not really respecting McCollum's power right now. And if McCollum even threw a little bit of fakes and feints right before then, it's going to make Hendricks react. Once he reacts, then he can attack.
Starting to settle into more of a pattern now. It looks like these guys are starting to really go at it here. A little bit more changing ground.
Hendricks always comes in that overhand right, starts everything off. Jab, overhand right. There you go. If you feint right before that, McCollum, if you feint right before that, it's going to garner a reaction. Then that kick is available. Did a great job of covering up. None of these punches are really hurt.
Every time on the break, too, he's trying to throw that big hook.
Oh, jump in flying knee and ate a right hand for it.
That's one way to stop that offense.
Whoa, that is a huge, if that was a wrestling
Big
match,
slap.
that's a 5-point throw.
Yeah. So he kind of got in there and got caught in the scramble. Thought about going for a guillotine, but he was so high, and then he just got flipped right over his head.
Oh, huge kick, and Hendricks almost dropped right into that.
That would have been a bad deal.
There we go. Now let's kind of see what kind of guard Hendricks has. He's in full mount right now.
Got
This
him
is a
mounted
very
up against
bad
the
position.
cage. Bad spot to be in right here.
McCollum was trapping that far side arm, so it's not like he can really move.
Hey.
12 to 6 elbows. These are completely legal here in Mississippi.
And listen, I'm not sure Lincoln's not hurt from that kick, Eric. Because ever since he got taken down there, he has not looked the same.
That is illegal. You are not allowed to kick a down opponent. That is 100% illegal.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's hurt on that shot, but he is definitely. I mean, you can look at his nose. He took a shot somewhere in that scramble.
That was a stand and a stomp on his face. That is highly illegal. You are not allowed to kick a grounded opponent, whether it be in Mississippi or any other state.
Yeah, exactly. We hate to see that. You know, that could end this fight right here. We had a great fight going here, so we hate to see something like that.
And just that speaks to the injury. He had him where he wanted. He stood up out of mount for whatever reason.
The lack of experience, the adrenaline flowing. You know, he got beat in the first round. He knows he's got to push the pressure in this second round to get back in this fight. And it's unfortunate.
I really hope that Hendrick can continue because, you know, I would hate for McCollum to lose this one.
Right. And we got a great fight shape. I mean, we've got him making a comeback. And McCollum's basically making a comeback in this second round. You know, up until that point, that was an illegal blow, but up until that point, the fight was
Taking into an illegal strike to the head, the fighter will have 5 minutes to recover.
Actually, that's wrong. That's an incorrect assessment. 5 minutes you only get for an illegal low. Everything else is either you can go and you can go to doctor. It's a common big misconception. But hey, amateur, give him 10 minutes for all I care. I want to see this fight.
We are obviously hoping. You know, we want the safety of the fighter at all costs, but this is a great fight. We obviously want to see what the conclusion of this fight looks like. So you were saying, you know, when you talk about that, the doctor coming in, what happens when the doctor comes in? How does that work? You've been the referee, you know, all the cancer. How does that kind of work when the doctor is called in?
When the doctor comes into the cage, which he has not in this fight, but when the doctor comes into the cage, it is out of the referee's hands.
Completely in the doctor's medical.
Completely, even out of the fighter's hands. So, like, at this point, if a doctor came in with the posture that Hendricks is taking, it would be really, really hard for a doctor to come in for an amateur fight and say, you are okay to continue. So,
obviously, there what we just saw Jason Aldridge, the referee, taking that point from the call before the fight.
Absolutely, he has to. I mean, that is blatantly.
So hopefully that's a good sign that maybe Lincoln's okay and going to be able to continue after this time.
And the doctor has not come in yet. Aldridge has not asked for the doctor to come in. He must see something in Hendricks' eyes that indicates that he should be okay. So maybe Hendricks is tired right now. And using and milking his 5 minutes.
Hey, I'm telling you, I think on that injury, when he tried to throw the head kick, the Lincoln kind of shot under that kick, I still think that might graze him a little bit. I couldn't see it quite from my angles, but his reaction after that, he was a totally different fighter at that point. He got mounted immediately. He was weighing him down, ground and pound, and he didn't look like he could. He was intelligently defending himself, but he didn't look like the same fighter we saw in the first half.
And you know what? Those spinning attacks to the body set up that crouch that Hendricks did because those attachment moves to the body, those spinning kicks. That's a great point. Then he didn't go into spinning, so when he kicked through, he crunched down thinking it's coming to the body, boom, blasted him right in the face.
Kind of grazed him, it looks like, but still, you know, those grazing shins are not very forgiving.
And it might not even be a shin, it was like shin to knee. We got left on the clock here, but we got to be coming down to the last couple of minutes of this 5-minute grace period.
He looks like, you know, in the corner there, he looks like he's doing okay. He doesn't look wobbly or anything. Obviously, he's got a little bit of a bloody nose there, so something happened in that exchange of some of that ground and busted his nose open.
I can tell you he looks exhausted.
Yeah, and when you're in scrambles like these guys have been, it's going to happen. Like, You can have the best cardio in the world, but those are some good scrambles that we've seen so far in this fight.
Absolutely, and what a lot of people don't know, a fight is really almost like a video game. You get hit hard once, your energy drops 20-30%. You're never getting it back.
Especially those body kicks.
Oh my goodness, yes. And especially if you get your bell wrong, he hit him with some 7 or 8 nasty 12-6 elbows. Personally, I don't agree that amateur MMA should be allowing 12-6 elbows, but the state of Mississippi will almost allows us.
They play by the rule set that you're in.
Absolutely.
These guys know that going into the fight.
Looks like we're getting set to start the action back.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
McCollum coming out. Now he has taken the center of the cage. You can see how the tide has flipped already. See if Kendrick jumps back in and strikes it.
Lincoln right now looks much more conservative than he did at the first half of the second round and all of the first round. McCollum is kind of blindly throwing that foot into the kick.
And that's what it really needs to be different. We need to
Ladies and gentlemen, round 2 is in the books. Make some noise.
We cannot, he needs to set those kicks up with punches first and foremost.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. So great into that round. You know, McCollum's really turned it around here. Unfortunately, though, he's got a point deduction for the illegal kick in that round. So even if you scored that for him, it's basically going to be a 9-9 round. So still, Eric and I both scored a 10-9 for Lincoln in the first round. So Lincoln's barely ahead on this scorecard. We'll see how this round comes out. Unfortunately, you know, we could end in a draw here if we don't see a finish. That could be the unfortunate side of the way this scorecard comes
Seconds out, please. Seconds out.
So with that round,
Ladies and gentlemen, third and final round. Make some noise.
with that round obviously being won by McCollum, but with the point, kind of that's what you were saying. So at best, we're looking at McCollum getting a draw here, unless he finishes the fight.
Correct. Yeah. Or if he could get a 10-8 round here, maybe. I mean, and with the way this is kind of swung, it is possible he could do that. And maybe Lincoln's going to have a comeback. Let's see what happens. Obviously, McCollum looking very confident now, taking the center. I mean, he's taking more than the center. He's pushing him all the way against the cage here.
And he's attacking him to the body now. That's what set up that high kick before. Hendrick's jumping back in.
Yeah, coming out a little bit like he did in the first round there. You know, I just get the feeling that he's hurt, though, Eric. I mean, the way that he's fighting now, well, hey, here he comes back out, though. My analysis could be wrong.
The black belt Gibbs is very rarely.
Huge
shots.
Shot there.
Huge shots.
Oh, coming back with a head kick, dropping knees.
This one is close to being finished.
I mean, he's covering up. He's hurt bad.
Aldridge right on top of the action.
He turned his head away on the
huge,
head kick.
and it is over. Huge TKO victory.
Yeah, and that's what we said had to happen there for McCollum to come back and win this fight, and then he goes out there and does it.
Justin McCollum came back from being, you know, really on his back heels that first round.
Yeah.
Comes out, huge head kick in the second round. Now multiple head kicks, knees, punches, finishes the fight.
After that first round, if I were a betting man, there's no way I would have put my money on McCollum, and then look what happens. MMA math is not always, 1 and 1 does not always equal 2.
Well, check my pick'em league. Yeah, I can guarantee you that's accurate.
We're getting ready to send it up to Jamie Grant here, our ring announcer, for the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 56 seconds in the third round, winner by TKO, the red corner, Justin McCollum.
Justin. Fight of the night so far, am I correct?
First round kind of looked like you were going back to maybe a Taekwondo background, a lot of spinning attacks, kind of put you into bad positions. Definitely lost round number 1. Come out number 2, you decided to take the center of the cage, put him on his back leg, and then you just let the bombs rain. Now, obviously, I know you didn't mean to standing strike, but were you worried going into that 3rd and final round that the best you could do with it was a draw because of the 1-point deduction?
Well, yeah, kind of. I just had to push myself to get that extra round. Like, this is really my first MMA fight, so I don't exactly know how the game works. I've only been training a year, so yeah.
Well, obviously it does not look like your first MMA fight. You went from high kick to grabbing the head, knee strike, high kick, finally finished him off with punches. How do you feel after your first MMA victory?
I feel good. It's not much different from kickboxing, but, you know, I feel great that I won.
Good. Everybody give it up. Fighting night winner, Justin McCollum.
Ladies and gentlemen, who said dynamite didn't come in small packages?
Yeah, great fight there. Justin, Mr. Grim McCall.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout this evening is brought to you by All-in-One Fitness. Located at 1229 Sunset Drive, Sweet Pea, Grenada, Mississippi. There is strength in numbers, especially in their group classes. From everything to yoga, to spin, to aerobics, they've got everything to fit your goals. Stop by today, speak to a staff member, and find a fitness plan for you. Ladies and gentlemen, also proud to be sponsored by 901 Live Stream Solutions. Full service broadcast production staff, equipment, data management, and software expertise. Give them a call today. Reach them on Facebook or email them at 901livestream@gmail.com. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Jared Maynes.
Lot of confidence. A lot of confidence.
I like it. Not sure I've heard this as a walkout sign ever, but hey, to each their own, correct?
I've one time heard Hakuna Matata. I've heard Britney Spears. But this is definitely the first time I've heard this song, which I don't know who sings it, but I remember it from my 90s days.
Yeah, definitely not lacking confidence. I mean, we're coming out singing and dancing, the full show here.
We have coming to the cage, Jared Maynes, a.k.a. the Mauler. Now, this kid is coming with some huge wrestling credentials. Collegiate wrestler, former 2-time state champion out of Utah. Now, interesting story, got into MMA from a grappling tournament where he nearly beat his black belt coach, Brian the Law Hall.
Yeah.
From that moment, Brian said, you need to come train with me.
As a white belt.
As a white belt.
Competing in the expert division at a local Fuji Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. Pretty impressive stuff there.
Hugely impressive.
And I've had the opportunity to actually train some with Jared. He came in and tried to learn some tricks from us in the BJJ world because his wrestling is already really good. I can tell you that from experience. I've seen it. I've felt it. But he's still pretty green with the submission, so he came in with us and trained with us, and then he transitioned, obviously, to Brian Hall, law school, MMA. Been training there ever since, and now here he is, MMA. We'll see how he does tonight. I'm looking forward to this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Anthony Torress.
Yes, that was not Anthony Torress sitting down there.
Yeah, maybe a little more gamesmanship here. Here he comes. You know, fighting out of a great team here. No Limit Jiu-Jitsu. Killer Bees down Starkville, Mississippi. Stark, Vegas.
So this could be a classic jiu-jitsu versus wrestler match.
Yeah, very well could be. Yeah, I have not seen Mr. Torress fight, so I'll be curious to see kind of what his background is here and what he comes out and does. It could definitely be a clash of styles here, and we'll see what happens.
Well, you know what? The one place you don't want to be comfortable is on your back against a wrestler. So, and the one place that a wrestler is not comfortable is on his back.
Yeah, so if he could get him there, that could be something that Jared might struggle with tonight.
Absolutely, and you know, Jared from a wrestler to an MMA fighter, no better camp to be in than Brian Noel.
Yeah, I mean, a guy that's been around forever. You know, he's one of the old school guys around here anyway, from at least modern mixed martial arts. So he's amassed a very large team with a lot of talent. You got a good mix of veterans and newcomers in that team. So, you know, Jared's, I can promise he's had a lot of seasoning for this fight.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is an amateur contest scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds and is a catchweight 140-pound match. Introducing first in the blue corner, a mixed martial artist making his Attitude MMA debut, standing 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing 140.8 pounds. Representing Memphis, Tennessee, and the police brutality of law school MMA, make some noise for Jared Maynes! Ladies and gentlemen, the red corner, a freestyle fighter with an amateur record of 0 wins, 1 loss, standing 5 feet 2 inches tall, weighing 141 pounds, fighting out of Starkville, Mississippi, representing No Limit Jiu-Jitsu and the Killer Bees, Inc. Make some noise for Anthony Torress! Third man in charge of the action, Mr. Kelly Leo. Let's get it on!
Another set of debut fighters ready to make their much anticipated debut here in the cage. Anxious to see the wrestler versus jiu-jitsu matchup here.
Jared Maynes coming out in the pink tie shorts. Maybe he's trying to channel his inner striker here.
Let's see. We got Kelly Leo, Bellator veteran, in the cage as a ref. You can see just walking him down right now. Jared taking the center of the cage.
Jared looks a little uncomfortable right now, maybe trying to get his feel for this.
Anthony hit him with a big overhand right there.
So he's in that traditional wrestling stance, immediately shoots in on the double leg there.
And goes straight to the back. He's got a spiral right now,
yeah,
both double underhooks.
Anthony tried to catch a Kimura there. Unfortunately, he's a little bit past the legs. There's no way to catch that.
Nice roll through right there.
Scramble here.
Look, he's got a neck. This is...
Yeah, I'm like you. I thought he could have sat guillotine there. Maybe didn't feel comfortable doing that against a talented wrestler. I want to see how this thing feels out for a little bit.
Jared does look a little uncomfortable here on the feet, but that wrestling does not look uncomfortable.
See the takedown. As soon as he shoots in, it looks so natural. He's got to watch here. He's trying to go for the choke before he's got the position.
And
got
now
one leg in now, one hook in.
This is
he does
a dominant
have the underhook on the right side, so he's working on his seatbelt here. Good scrambles here, though, by Torress. Not allowing him to catch position. Good roll through. Yeah,
big shots right there.
You know, and the scrambles are going to be different in mixed martial arts, as you know, Eric.
Absolutely.
So that's something he doesn't have, you know, a lot of experience with in the cage yet. He's going to have to get that over time.
To get that next takedown right there, that was a duck under takedown. That's a high level wrestling takedown.
Yeah.
Spiral riding. You can see his arm is drenched right in between the legs a little bit. That really controlling his opponent's hips.
Yeah. Got to be careful. I know he's wanting to transition to the back, but he's got to take his time here and kind of loosen him up. You know, Torress being the frame he is, he can roll through, which we've seen him do. Oh, this is not a good position for Torress.
He's going to rain
belly
down elbows right here.
Got 2 hooks in, got him bellied out. Bad position here. He needs to try to hit him with some bigger strikes than this was little hammer fist, though.
He needs to posture up right here.
Yeah, really start raining down the ground.
When he's belly down like this, he can posture up and just start really inflicting some punishment.
And really loosen him up, too, to try to set the choke up here. Now, you know, this guy has some great hip pressure. I know. I felt it. So Torress is feeling that right now, and you can see the look on his face.
And this one's being close to stop. Kelly Leo right on top of the action. It looks like Torress doesn't really have anything for this grappling right now.
He's still defending himself, but he's got to do something to try to get out of a terrible position here. Still got the 2 hooks in, belling him out again. Look at the hip pressure.
And we still have all day left. We got to.
Yeah, now he's dropping elbows. We're in full
10
mount
seconds.
here.
10 seconds left in the round. Let's see if Torress can get out of this round.
Dropping elbows right on the face. 12-6 elbows now from the top.
Time! Ladies and gentlemen, round number 1 is in the books. Make some noise.
Round number 1 in the books.
So we definitely saw a lack of comfort there in the striking, which we could expect, okay? You know, this guy is making his MMA debut here tonight, so he's going to have to work through that. The wrestling, though, like we talked about before, I mean, you can talk about it more than I can. That's extremely high-level stuff we just saw.
I mean, literally, he was on the cage, went for a duck under takedown, dragged him straight to the mat, straight into like a seatbelt position, transitioned from the seatbelt to the spiral ride, then took the hooks, did whatever he wanted right there.
I know a pretty good purple belt's got a spiral ride, too. Taught me that move one time.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for your Attitude MMA ringer.
Spiral riding really is such a dominant position to have. You put that hand on the inside part of that thigh, your hips are attached to
MMA,
that.
because then you can punch with the other hand.
Absolutely.
So you're in the dominant position there just to let loose on him.
I'd really like to see Anthony Torress come out the second round and let the punches fly. He knows that he can be taken down anytime Maynes wants. So why don't let those hands loose?
Please, seconds out, please.
And I like to look at him in the corners between rounds. Torress definitely looked tired in that, sitting on that bit. And, you know, when you're underneath a wrestler like that with the hips dropped on you like that, it takes a lot out of you.
And we're set for round number 2.
I definitely scored that Maynes 10-9.
10-9, absolutely.
And here we go. You can tell Torress is worried about that takedown now, but hey, that's a good overhand right there.
And Maynes needs to really be cautious. His chin is not moving when these punches are coming at him.
Yeah, he's staying on a straight line right in front of him.
Telegraph that takedown right now. If Torress just came up straight up top with a kick, straight through the middle, it could connect. Maynes isn't doing a good time, you know, moving his head. Point exactly right there. His head is staying stagnant. I definitely know Brian's going to be working on with him that with him here coming up.
Yeah, again, there he got caught. The head is definitely staying on a straight line. But, you know, he's so comfortable in that wrestling. You can see he wants to close that distance just like he did there. Turns a double leg.
Effortless.
He makes it look easy.
Effortless.
You know, makes it look so
Goes
easy.
straight to the back again. And Maynes Torress is not really able to scramble now that his gas tank has been drained a little bit.
Yeah, and Torress just trying to grab his hand here to stop him from raining down.
Torress is really going to have to do something drastic to be able to get up from underneath this position.
We're back in the same position again, bellied out, 2 hooks in. It's one of the worst positions to ever be in.
Especially when you're exhausted, that pressure just raining down on you.
Can't see where the strikes are going to come from. Hard to defend anything from that position. He's trying to roll over on his side now. We're transitioning straight to mount.
Torress really needs to attack 2 hands on 1 hip and try and shrimp out from this position. He's trying to right now, but he didn't put his hands on the hips there.
You know, from this position, I'd like to see Maynes try to transition to maybe some submissions.
Huge elbow shots right there.
Because he's dropping a lot of ground and pound, but Torress is doing a pretty good job of staying in the fight, intelligently defending.
And this is classic wrestler. You do not let up any pressure, so he's a little anxious to posture up right here. He needs to realize that he can let go of that grapevine and use his hips to just hold him down.
Absolutely.
But these elbows are going to end the fight if he does not move.
Yeah, you're seeing an intelligent defense here, but how much of this can a guy take?
But these are really just an annoyance. It's not really hurting them all that much, but at some point they're really just going to add up, and Kelly Leo's going to say, "You're not getting up. I know it." Nice little hip out, though, right there.
He's still maintaining a dominant position, though. Man, I just see arm triangles everywhere.
Well, the black belt in you does.
It's one of those things like, he is striking here, but he's not doing a lot of damage with these strikes.
But he did a lot better job of posturing up right there.
But listen, it's a dominant position. He's obviously winning the fight. No one's going to argue that. I think Kelly's close to probably stopping this just because he's taking a lot of
time.
And we are
Ladies
on
and gentlemen,
to
round number 2 is in the books.
Round number 2 in the books. Go back to the corners.
Yeah, another dominant round for Maynes. We're seeing both those guys. I think Torress in his striking is obviously he's trying to stay more reserved because he's worried about the takedown. Mm-hmm. Maynes obviously not that comfortable with his striking yet from what we're seeing. Got to do a better job of training those things up possibly for his next fight.
And Brian Hall right now, if you saw the screen, he was saying, you need to posture up and throw punches. That's exactly what he was doing on the cage here. But one thing that Maynes needs to do, and it's kind of the theme of the day, especially with these debut fighters, throw feints. Throw feints, throw feints. If Torress threw some feints, Maynes is very uncomfortable on the feet so far, we can say. So he's blocking up completely. If every punch comes, he's sheltering up. You throw a little bit of a feint in there, it opens up the whole world to those strikes.
Right. Yeah, it just seems
seconds
like
out, please. Seconds out.
Maynes' dominant wrestling, though, is just taking Torress totally out of his game right now. Getting that door locked for round
Ladies and
number
gentlemen,
3.
third and final round. Make some noise.
Third and final round, Torress Maynes. Let's see what happens. Torress has really got to come out, throw some bombs. And do not let Maynes keep walking him down, because that's where the takedown's coming from.
Yeah, Torress has his mouth wide open right now. He's just been in a tough situation those first 2 rounds. He's got to come out and make something happen in this round, though, obviously, because he's way down on the scorecards.
Let's see if he pulls guard and not give up his back right away, which he gives up his back right away. Same exact position, but this time it looks like Maynes is keeping the posture up, now going for a half Nelson just to turn him. That's dominating. That's disheartening to a degree.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Raining down some short elbows there, now with hammer fists. We're just not seeing much of a defense here, unfortunately.
But Kelly Leo's right on top of this action. If he gets flattened out again, he's going to stop it.
He really has no answer for the wrestling at this point. Jared's got to be a little careful he doesn't get too high.
And he can start attacking the neck. A wrestler can learn to attack the neck there, but he's content, not tired. He's content just putting a beating on him.
And every time he goes with that half Nelson, I see the arm triangle. I'm going to have to go talk to him after this.
The black belt in you is just
There we go. Now we got a little transition here north-south. I'm liking this.
Doesn't really see like he wants that north-south choke. Obviously my personal favorite, but
yeah, I think he's just content right now to stay in the dominant positions, ground and pound from the top. And listen, that may have been their game.
Now we're going to the crucifix.
I like the crucifix trap here. A guy that's as strong as him on top. Look, there's just no defense.
And it is over. Kelly Leo finally steps in. Valiant effort by Anthony Torress, but no answer for the wrestling.
Yeah, and when we see that crucifix there, you knew it's going to get close because he's got no way to defend himself now. At least before that, he's intelligently defending himself. Now both arms are trapped. What are you going to do? You're getting punched in the face. There's nothing. Kelly Leo doesn't have a choice there but to protect the fighter.
Ask BJ Penn when he fought Matt Hughes. He got put in that same exact crucifix.
Exactly. All right, going to be sending it up to Jamie here for the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 1 minute 52 seconds in the third round, winner by TKO, the blue corner, Jared Maynes.
I just got one thing to say. If you're a dominant wrestler, you're going to dominate a lot of MMA fights. You were a collegiate wrestler, is that correct?
Yes, I was.
Obviously, it showed. Now, every single time, is this a technique of yours that when you take somebody down, you transition immediately to back? Or was he giving you the back each and every time?
I mean, I'm going to try and put him in his back because that's my nature, but I think it's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both. So, 1-0 inside the cage now. Dominant wrestling. I'm sure law school striking system is going to give you a little bit of work on the feet. What is next for you?
Well, first I want to go get some ice cream, and then probably go work some hard with Ryan and the rest of the guys, get my striking down.
All right, work on that entrance music too. Give it up for your winner, Jared Maynes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are on a 15-minute intermission. Make some noise if you've had a good time so far. As always, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Kirk Brothers Power Sports, ATVs, side-by-sides, Can-Am, Kirk Can, Polaris, Honda, yes, Kirk Can, Yamaha, man, they sell trailers, everything Kirk Can. Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is sponsored by Witzel Gun Works, located at 325 Witzel Road, Holcomb, Mississippi. Give them a call, 662-688-0637. They are your small general gunsmithing shop that maintains and repairs firearms in and around the Holcomb, Mississippi area. Come see the professional at Witzel for all your firearm needs. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Mr. Alan Weems.
And we are back from intermission. Getting ready for our next light heavyweight matchup.
Attitude 20 tonight. Wow, it's hard to believe, isn't it?
It really is. And they went from a small space out in Lakeland, Tennessee, to the Agri Center, to the FedEx Forum, and now we're making our debut in Greenwood, Mississippi.
The Leflore Civic Center.
We got Alan Weems on his way to the cage. You've done some training with Alan Weems. He is tough. He's durable. He's been in the cage with some heavy hitters. He is not scared to scrap.
Yeah, we've seen him fight across a couple of different weight classes with guys bigger than him, and he is super tough. He trains out of Chilcuts. Aldridge and those guys are getting him ready every time, but he is so tough, man. Just has a chin and will grind and keep on grinding.
I'm going to quote you on what you said during the intermission. Alan Weems is stupid tough.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, he's a guy that literally, you can put him into some bad positions, especially when you're rolling jiu-jitsu with him. He's a blue belt there under Chad Chilcutt, and you just know it's going to be a tough roll. You can get him in some really bad positions, and the guy will not give up. He will not quit. He's going to try to fight through it to the best of his ability.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Mr. Bobby Fales.
Now, I am really, really interested to see Bobby the Juggernaut Fales fight. We got a chance to talk to him earlier tonight. He's coming off a 7-year layoff. You know, as he puts it, I said, why the layoff? Why 7 years? And just because I was an idiot and I was doing some dumb stuff, but I'm focused now and I'm ready to get back in the cage.
Well, I mean, looking at this guy, we're talking about a guy who looks like he's chiseled out of granite. If you were going to show me a prototypical light heavyweight MMA fighter, 6'4", got a great reach, and just, I mean, cut.
This guy was an offensive lineman at University of
Louisiana Lafayette.
Louisiana Lafayette. He was an offensive lineman at one time weighing 340 pounds.
Yeah.
He weighed in tonight at 204.8.
Yeah, said he cut down originally to about 240 pounds when he started training. That's a 100-pound reduction there. Then he felt like, he wasn't reaching his full potential because he's fighting a lot of heavyweights that are cutting down to 265 to fight him. So he thought, hey, if I can make it down to light heavyweight, that's a much more natural weight class for me. And look at the guy.
Ladies and gentlemen, Our next contest is an amateur contest scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the light heavyweight division. Introducing first in the blue corner, a kickboxer with an amateur record of 3 wins, 2 losses, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing 208.9 pounds, fighting out of Memphis, Tennessee, representing Chilcutt's Memphis Mixed Martial Arts. Make some noise for Alan Weems! Ladies and gentlemen, introducing in the red corner, a mixed martial artist making his Attitude MMA debut. Standing 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing 204.9 pounds, fighting out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, representing Jones Kickboxing Academy and Team Ruthless, the Juggernaut, Bobby Fails! Third man in charge of the action, Mr. Kelly Leo. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it on!
Do not let the physiques fool you. Alan Weems, it should never be overlooked. This kid is tough. He's been in there with everybody.
Yeah.
He's beat the who's who. He's lost to the who's who, but he comes to scrap.
Here we go, Eric. Yeah, you can't ever judge a book by its cover in mixed martial arts.
Bobby is just a big light heavyweight. He is massive.
Doing a good job picking the jab there.
Ooh,
Man, caught him with a little hook
big
there.
right
Yeah.
hand. Oh.
Hitting him with some big shots here.
As you said, Alan is
I mean, look
crazy
at him. I mean,
tough.
he's taking some huge shots there, and he's still trying to clinch up here.
Oh, huge.
Yeah.
This one's close to being over.
Yeah,
It's got to be over. Bobby Fails with a huge knockout after a 7-year layoff. He said he's back, he's focused, and to take out a guy like Alan Weems that quickly,
Yeah,
it shows.
and Allen right now is still staggered, man. I'm telling you what, those are some huge shots. And you're talking about a guy that not only looks the part, but he can play the part as well. We just saw a performance put on there, no doubt about it. Yeah, and they're trying to help Allen right now. So, you know, hopefully he's okay there. Those are some big shots there in the clinch. And, man, the Juggernaut definitely living out his moniker here. That was a Juggernaut-like performance. As we said before, you know, Alan Weems is a very talented mixed martial artist and just super tough fighter. And to see this guy come in here and get a finish like that, you know, obviously being off for 7 years, it didn't look like the rust hurt him there. So he definitely trained and was ready for this fight. Just super impressed there with the Juggernaut, Bobby Fails, out of Louisiana. Made a nice long trip up here.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 32 seconds in round 1, we have a KO! The red corner, the Juggernaut, Bobby Fails!
Send it over to Eric McMahon for the interview.
Bobby Fails. Coming off a 7-year layoff. Didn't seem like you wanted to get too much ring time in here today.
Man, I just did whatever came natural to me. I saw that I hadn't hurt, and I didn't want to lose an opportunity like that.
You came in right off the bat. It looked like your first punch, you stuck him with a jab that really put him on his back foot, and then you just the onslaught. We talked earlier, you were a striker. Once you see blood, you did not want to stand back, pick your punches. You were all in, is that correct?
Well, once you got your foot to the throat, man, you keep it down.
Absolutely. So now, in the positive of a 500 record now, 7-year layoff, 34-second knockout victory. What is next for Bobby Fails?
I want an amateur belt and then go pro.
Scotty, where are you at? This man wants an amateur belt. Give it up for your winner, the Juggernaut.
Hey, I want to thank everybody that came out and made this ride. It's $5 down here from Wimbledon. Y'all mean the world to me. You know the reason that I do it. I want to thank everyone on my team. Y'all made me as strong as I am, and I appreciate every one of y'all go hard.
Yeah, super impressive performance there by the Juggernaut. Great Attitude MMA debut for him here. Hopefully we'll get to see him in a championship match coming up soon. I know Scotty Swanger, one of the best matchmakers in the business, he'll be looking to make that happen, especially with a performance like that. There is no doubt about it. He deserves it. We'll be sending it back up to Jamie right now. Go on our next match.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout this evening is brought to you by Little Caesars Pizza, located at 603 West Park Avenue in Greenwood, Mississippi. You can order online or swing by from 4 to 8 p.m. for your hot and ready deal of the day. But why wait? You can pick it up at our concession stand right now. LittleCaesars.com. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Mr. Ben Joseph.
Shughart fighter Ben Joseph getting set to make his way down to the cage. Now, Grant, you've done some training with him. What can we expect to see?
Yeah, Ben really has morphed into a better grappler. He's worked a lot on his jiu-jitsu. He's one of these guys that's there training every single night, trying to get better, working on the positional things, especially for his MMA game. You know, very unassuming guy, but I'm telling you, we've seen him fight before here on the Attitude card. I think the first fight we saw him fight, he had a really tough first round, then came back second, and I mean, he just put it on the guy. Ended up finishing with a rear naked choke, if I remember right. But just super tough, but also, you know, working on that technical game, getting better every time I've seen him.
So is he typically, so what I'm hearing is he's now rounding out to be a full, like an all-around mixed martial artist. Stand-up still probably his primary?
I would say so, but I mean, he's worked a lot extensively on his jiu-jitsu. He's still a white belt, I think, under Shughart, but you know, that doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't know what he's doing.
And you don't rank up in no-gi a lot of times, so who knows what's going on.
That's absolutely right.
And if Jason Alder's in his corner and training with him, you know he's tough.
Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Mr. Kendrick Noel.
It looks like Kendrick is out of the Wolfpack MMA, which we saw earlier from Cleveland, Mississippi.
And they're 1-0 on the night.
Yeah. So kind of a new camp that we haven't heard of. Doesn't necessarily mean anything. You know, Cleveland, Mississippi is a smaller town close to here in Greenwood.
And this looks like around a 160 catch weight fight. And you want to talk about how the Juggernaut had a prototypical MMA body. Look at this kid.
Yeah, look at the reach here. I mean, fighting at this weight class, you can tell he's already got the reach looking at this. So this should be a great fight.
I mean, I really don't have much intel. Never seen him fight. You know, obviously from out of town. But I'm willing to venture, just like you said, the reach that just a frame like that has. You know, look at Israel Adesanya. I mean, guys like John Jones, these guys that in these divisions with huge reaches, it's just so hard to close the distance on guys like these.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, but the thing about it is Ben's got a pretty good reach as well. So we'll have to see how this kind of works out. You know, striking,
standing next to each. Now I'm looking at these guys standing next to each other. They're very, very close.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest is an amateur bout scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the light weight division. Introducing first in the blue corner, a freestyle fighter with an amateur record of 2 wins, 0 losses, with 1 win by TKO, standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing 159.9 pounds, fighting out of Memphis, Tennessee, representing Chilcutt's Memphis Mixed Martial Arts. Make some noise for Ben Joseph. Ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner, making his Attitude MMA debut, a mixed martial artist standing at 6 feet even, weighing 162.1 pounds, fighting out of Chula, Mississippi, representing the Wolfpack MMA, Kendrick Noel. Third man in charge of the action this evening, Mr. Kelly Leo. Let's get it on.
Kendrick Noel is definitely the crowd favorite from Cleveland, Mississippi.
Yeah, Cleveland's not far from here, actually. It's another Delta town. You got a lot of local folks here, I'm sure, supporting him.
Kelly Leo gets us started off. Round number 1.
Oh, nice
huge
right there,
1-2 punch right out the gate.
Caught him with another jab coming in. Nice right.
And Kendrick is not using that distance. Right off the bat, he did not use it.
Yeah, he's trying to clinch in here. But great takedown there.
Let's see this new
Got the
improved
underhook.
jiu-jitsu.
It looks like Ben's trying to roll through there, but he's headlocking, which is not going to be a good position here. A little bit of a scarf hold situation here, but that's the problem with the headlock, Eric.
And he could get his back taken right here.
Absolutely.
Kendrick puts those hooks in, gets that. His head is basically out now.
But Kendrick there didn't do a good job of escaping that, so now we're seeing, Ben's going to be able to get on top here and start to work now. He still has got to get rid of this headlock. He needs to get an underhook there and solidify control. Or once again, we're going to get rolled.
So how do you get out of a headlock in this position?
He's got the headlock position there. He did exactly what you want to do. He got him over on his side, and then now look at where he's at. He's on his back. He's trying to get it under the chin. Now, Ben's going to be tough in this position. I'm telling you, it's not an easy guy to choke out here. You can see it right there. He got it out, pushed the arm across.
And that was grit right there. He pushed the arm up.
Definitely a painful position. Now he's got to watch it here because it's going back in deep again.
And it looks like Kendrick
a little
is
off
switching
to the side. He's got to defend the hands here.
This looks deep from behind.
He doesn't have the hands locked up quite yet, though.
If he switches to a gable grip right here, he can finish it.
If he switches a grip here, it's going to be tough to get off. Ben's doing a good job of getting his chin tucked there and controlling the top hand, the choke arm.
There we go.
But this is the danger when you hold on to the headlock. This is the position you end up in 9 times out of 10.
We said it right out the bat.
Not where you want to be. Not where you want to be. And again, we're going from side to side.
Body triangle as well, which is not a good position. If you've ever been in a body triangle, it's sucking the wind literally right out of you.
Yeah, and Kendrick here's doing a great job of transitioning, arm to arm. He doesn't have a seatbelt position here, though. So what should happen here, Ben should be trying to shake him right now. A little bit over. See how he's high? He should be trying to shake him and turn into him.
So would you tripod and posture at that position?
If you can, yeah, that would be the way to try to get out, or one way. The problem here is now we got the elbows coming, but he's almost out of this. If he can turn into him, now he's in top position in guard.
There we go. Now let's see what kind of guard Kendrick has. Any ground and pound from Ben Joseph here. Ben's got to get his wits about him again. He was in a lot of dangerous positions, but Kendrick, his arms could be gassed right now.
Yeah, listen, when we've seen Ben fight before, he's been a little bit of a slow starter and then come on strong towards the end of rounds. So we'll see if he can do the same thing here.
25 seconds left in round number one. Huge shots right here. Big elbows.
Yeah, Kendrick's not using much of a guard. Now he's trying to stand up straight out of that. That's not a good position.
Ben cannot give up an underhook.
Hey, 101. Good transition. Yeah, you cannot give up the underhook in that situation.
10 seconds left. Let's see what happens.
Trying to stand up here. Good shots there from Kendrick on top. He's got to dig an underhook right now. He's going to get taken down again.
Got 5 seconds left in the match. Or left in the round.
Here we go.
And round
Ladies and gentlemen,
number one.
round number one is in the books. Make some noise!
So we're talking about the jiu-jitsu. We're talking about learning. But you know what? A lot of times fans need to understand it goes back to primal nature right now. His primal nature is not on the ground just yet. You can see he hit him with big strikes on the feet. And then when he gets taken down, he goes to a headlock, gets his back taken.
Yeah. And just kind of making inexperienced transitions, there's the problem. He didn't get the underhook when he came out on the backside. Those are things that you've got to do if you're going to try to get into a dominant position, try to finish the fight with submission or ground and pound, either one.
And Ben Joseph, let's see if he can come out. I mean, he hit him with a stiff 1-2 in the first 10 seconds of the match.
So he may want to try to keep it in the fight. I'm sure that's what Aldridge and Chad Chilcutt are telling him right now in the corner. I scored that 10-9, though, for Kendrick. I thought he held the position. A very close round. Could have went either way, but I felt like he held the position more on top.
Seconds out, please. Seconds out.
We'll see how this round goes.
Yeah, Kendrick definitely dominated in position, dominated in submission attempts. Did get reversed a couple times, but, it's mixed martial arts. That's what's going to happen. So I got a 10-9, Kendrick Noel as well. Let's see what round number 2 has in store for us. Kelly Leo about to get us started.
Good kick there to try to keep the distance starting it out. You don't want to get back in that striking game with him right off the bat.
Kendrick looks like those arms may be a little heavy right now as well. Not with that blast double.
Shot right in with the blast double. We'll see what Ben can do here from his closed guard.
Let's see what that choke cut training has got him right here.
Going to stand up out of it now. But another takedown. He's just giving up the underhooks in those situations. He's going to get taken down every time.
Straight to mount. Kind of 3/4 guard right here, but I mean, he's essentially in mount for all. Now he's definitely in mount.
He's trying to just hold the head and control the posture. He needs to be using his hips and bumping, trying to get out of this situation. Not where you want to be.
Kind of defending. None of these shots landing. They
Nothing's
look good to
yet.
the judges.
And there you go. So once again, we're seeing, Kendrick got a little high on what he had there. You got to get that position before you go for the finish.
Absolutely.
And he was able to just roll him through easily. Now he's in his closed guard, and we'll see what he's got from there. He's pushing him up against the cage, which is always a smart move. That's going to allow him, he can cage walk from that situation, but when he's in closed guard like that's going to be much harder to do.
Step straight over to half guard. And this is maybe one of the most dominant positions from not letting a fighter get up, is being in the top half position.
Yeah.
Keeping that underhook, but he gave up that underhook in the first round. Let's see if he does not make that mistake the second time.
He's keeping it for now. Transitioning straight into side control here.
Kendrick Noel is,
nice,
oh my gosh,
ribs.
huge knees.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen when you turn away from your opponent every time.
And that's going to take a lot of it. But listen, he's already given up the underhook here again. So if he can turn around, he could come out the back door on this, but those knees are making him think twice about that.
And Kendrick really needs to hip in just like he's doing now and needs to shook him a little bit up, but the cage is there.
Yeah, he's got to explode there and try to get that underhook and put it into position to get out of here. It looks like he's just not quite sure about that. Not enough skill in that training to know to do that in this situation. Then transitioning immediately to mount against the cage here.
Big
Posture,
elbows, big
shots.
elbows. This one is getting close to being stopped,
and
it is. Once Kendrick Noel turned his back, it was all over. Kelly Leo had no choice but to stop that fight.
Yeah. So good performance there. Once again, a slow start like we've seen from him before, but he finishes strong usually.
When it was time to turn it on, he turned it on.
Yeah, got in a good position and made it happen. So great performance there by Ben Joseph. Out of Chill Cuts MMA in Memphis.
Ladies and gentlemen, at 2 minutes, 16 seconds of round 2, winner by TKO, blue corner, Mr. Ben Joseph!
Send it over to Eric McMahon for the post-fight interview with Ben. Congratulations to him. Great fight by both fighters.
I'm here with your winner, Ben Joseph. Now, Ben, slow start round number 1. Held on to that headlock maybe a little bit too long. Going into round number 2, what did your coaches, very experienced coaches, Aldridge and Chilcutt, tell you to change the tide of this match?
Man, he just said well, to be honest with you, I forgot what he said, but I knew what I needed to do, and just wanted to come in and win on the team.
Now, when you got him down in that second round, you went straight to mount. Straight from mount, you started raining down huge elbows. Talking to my broadcast partner over there, Grant Gibbs, saying you have been working a lot on your transitions, a lot on your jiu-jitsu. Is that Chad Chilcutt 100% responsible for that?
Yes, he is. Chad Chilcutt, I believe, he gave me a blue belt before I felt I even deserved it. And man, it's just been a journey, I've been trying to work as hard as I can, coming in when I'm sick. And, but Chilcutt and all the Memphis MMA, all my team behind me.
Well, it has definitely paid off. Give it up for your winner, Ben Joseph.
Congratulations to Ben Joseph on the victory. I'm telling you, he's not a nicer guy in mixed martial arts in this area for sure. Super happy for him to get that win there. Hard fought. Definitely Kendrick gave him all he wanted. That fight was going both directions there. But, once again, he was able to turn it on there in the second round.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout this evening is brought to you by ZDMM Enterprises, Highway 7 in Greenwood, Mississippi. Quality used cars, tires, and more. Make sure you check them out. That's ZDMM Enterprises. Ladies and gentlemen, are you having a good time? I'm sorry. That we can do better. I said, are you having a good time? Ladies and gentlemen, we got a title fight coming up for you next. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Mr. James Wells.
James 9-Toe Wells making his way to the cage. Now, a lot of people say, why the name 9 Toes? If you want to see a horrific jiu-jitsu training injury, go look at this young man's Instagram, Facebook, whatever. It's going to be somewhere. He almost took his own toe off doing jiu-jitsu. Did you ever see that picture?
I have not, but that makes for a great nickname.
It was completely sideways bone coming out, but you know what? So James Wells, law school MMA product. Been around a long, long time. He's won 5 out of his last 6 fights. And like I said, if you're coming from law school MMA, you're fighting for a title, you got to be tough.
Yeah, and we've seen him fight several times in person, Eric. He is extremely athletic, quick hands, just a great all-around fighter. Interested to see tonight how he looks coming out here. He looked like he was very relaxed, ready to go. But like you said, law school, MMA is always going to have those guys trained up and ready to fight.
And the moment is not going to be too big for this guy. Like I said, he's got a lot of fights. Winner of 5 of his last 6. His last loss was in a title fight as well. So he's probably learned from that experience. He fought for V3 fights, lost in that title fight against a stud. You know, but it was a split decision victory. A lot of people think he won that fight. Now let's see if that experience has paid off in this title fight.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm looking forward to this fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Mr. Shun Mitchell.
So, Shun Mitchell, we've got our second Brawler's Den fighter of the night.
I love watching the Brawler's Den, guys. Love it.
Yeah. He's 3-3 as an amateur, fighting out of Independence, Mississippi.
Did I hear that he started as a backyard fighter?
That is what he told us, yeah. So, started backyard boxing.
Oh, man. And so he's channeling his inner Jorge Masvidal right now.
That's correct, yeah.
Hey, if he could go on to become the BMF champion of the world, who knows? Shun Mitchell, it's one day.
There you go. Kimbo Slice, follow right into those guys' footsteps. He's been working in BJJ a lot. He's been training 3 years at the Brawler's Den, working up towards his blue belt, so he's pretty proud of that. Also had a boxing match recently, his amateur boxing debut, won that with a 9-second knockout.
Ice cold knockout in 9 seconds. That went viral. I saw it everywhere. Very excited for this title fight. Shun Mitchell versus 9 Toes. Let's send it up to Jamie.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout this evening is an amateur contest scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds and is for the Attitude MMA Lightweight title. Introducing first in the blue corner, a kickboxer with an amateur record of 6 wins and 3 losses, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 158.5 pounds, fighting out of Memphis, Tennessee, and representing the police brutality of law school MMA. Make some noise for James 9 Toes Wells. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing in the red corner, a kickboxer with an amateur record of 2 wins and 2 losses, standing 6 feet 1 inches tall, weighing 158.7 pounds, fighting out of Independence, Mississippi, representing the Brawler's Den. Make some noise for Shun 2 times Mitchell. Third man in charge of the action, Mr. Kelly Leo. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it on.
Bellator veteran Kelly Leo, third man in the cage. I am excited to see this fight. Shun Mitchell, we know has the power. 9 Toes, we know has the experience. Let's see how this one plays out. Neither man giving up the center of the cage right now.
Nice leg kick started out there.
Shun Mitchell actually ran track in high school as well, so a very good athlete.
Good push kick there. Now I think you're going to see James try to keep the distance here, because Shun definitely has a little bit of a reach advantage on him from what I'm seeing.
You can see the experience of what we're talking about. 9 Toes is doing a lot of feinting, which is getting reactions, which then he could jump in. So that's the difference in experience that we're talking about here.
Good scrambler. He's going for the takedown, but 9 Toes does a good job here of catching the underhook there on the way in, stopping the takedown, neutralizing it. trying to keep him getting both those hands wrapped around the back for the double leg.
And he's got almost double underhooks here.
Switching to the single.
He needs to go inside trip, not outside there. That inside trip, he would have got that takedown. Let's see if he tries it again. There he goes, and he gets it. Now, Nine Toes has the underhook, but he decided to pull full guard instead of trying coming out the back. He might, let's see what type of guard he has, but if he might look back on that and say, I should have really came out the back there.
That could be one of those moves you regret. It all happens, though, in an instance. You know, it's hard to make those decisions that quickly. But that could be something that he regrets later on here in this fight. We'll see how this goes. Got him up against the cage, which is not a good place to be in your closed guard. As you can see there, you know, he's kind of balled up. It's hard for him to transition to anything else.
Armbar,
working for an armbar here, though. Got to go towards the feet with this.
So obviously,
there he goes right back towards the feet.
And I was wrong. You were wrong.
Yeah.
He wanted to pull full guard for a reason. Showed that jiu-jitsu.
Yeah,
Nine Toes,
and you
my
can see,
fault.
You can see Shun got his elbow popped, man. That hurt. You could see it. And the great thing about that, he transitioned in that position, Eric, when you're going for that arm bar, you've got to turn back towards the feet. If you stay towards the head, you give the opportunity for your opponent to run out of that move. And when he did it, man, you just saw it. I almost cringed over here. It made my elbow hurt just watching
And
that.
you could see diving under for that arm bar, he went underneath the leg, which really is going to cinch it in so much deeper.
Let's send it up to Jamie here. Well, it looks like Jamie's still trying to get the time and everything on that. That was an extremely quick finish. Superior jiu-jitsu there. Law school MMA, Brian Hall, black belt, obviously under Joe Gingery. You know, he's teaching these guys what to do and how to do it, because that was textbook armbar from underneath and then transitioning straight to the belly down there. Just super tight armbar. Very
Ladies
impressive.
and gentlemen, at 1 minute 34 seconds in the first round, winner by armbar submission, the blue corner, James Nine Toe Wells, and new Attitude MMA lightweight champion. Make some noise.
Yeah, congrats on the championship. Let's send it up to Eric McMahon for the interview with Nine Toes Wells.
All right, I am here with your new lightweight champion, James Wells. Now, right off the bat, he's fighting hard for them takedown. Then he throws an inside trick, which it looks like you didn't really even fight that much, because are you that confident in your guard?
Very, very confident. I used to be like a guard puller, but then like, stop doing that. First, God, and my plan was I was gonna strike with him. I wanted to prove that I was a better striker. But I was like, I'm standing the whole time, first round. But he took me to the ground, a blue belt. He just played 16 like a blue belt tournament, so why? I mean, white belt tournament, so why take me, a blue belt, to the ground? I don't understand.
Once he got to the ground, me and my partner were talking over there. You actually had half guard at first with an underhook. You could have completely come out the backside, but you decided to pull that guard. And we made a comment that might come back to haunt you. Boy, was I wrong. Immediately dove under the leg, cinched in that armbar, and we were cringing right away. You belly down. Did you hear that pop?
I didn't hear it pop, but I heard and usually that means something gonna be jingling when he goes home. But it's just a sack in your arm, so he should be good after a little while.
Well, new black belt Brian Hall has definitely been working with you on your jiu-jitsu. Everybody give it up for your new champion, Nine Toes.
Congratulations there, new Attitude lightweight champion. Just super impressive performance there by James Nine Toes Wells. Great team they've got there.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, are we having a good time tonight? Fantastic. I'm glad that you are. We're on a 15-minute intermission. It's time to refresh yourselves. Hit your servers up in the tables. Order those drinks. Get your Little Caesars pizza at the concession stands. 15-minute intermission. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena. Kenny Gray Jr.
Kenny Bam Bam Gray Jr., another law school MMA product. Let's see if they can go and make it, 3-0 on the night?
Yeah, they're having a great night tonight for sure.
Let's go if they can go 3-0 on the night. Now, talking to Brian Hall, he's really high on Kenny Gray. He said he's an All-American wrestler, and he's actually, believe it or not, he was coached by the former world light heavyweight champion in the UFC, Daniel Cormier, back in high school.
Was heavyweight champion.
Yeah, and heavyweight champion.
Dual weight class champion in the UFC.
He was coached by him in wrestling back in high school. So he only had one amateur fight, hasn't fought in years, and now he wants to make a go at it, but this time he's going pro. Hasn't fought in years. Well, for Brian to get behind this kid and to get in his corner, that's saying something.
Yeah, well, if he's got those wrestling credentials, obviously that's going to give him a step up here. But
not only wrestling credentials, Golden Glove boxer as well.
Yeah, I mean, putting those two things together in mixed martial arts, that's what you're supposed to be able to do.
So I'm anxious to see this fight.
Yeah.
Brian Hall speaks very highly of this guy.
And like we said, on paper, the credentials here, it makes for an exciting debut, a pro debut. I'm like you, I'm looking forward to seeing what this guy has to offer.
Definitely looks the part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Mr. Frankie Shughart.
If you're a fan of mixed martial arts here in the Mid-South, you know who Frankie Four Fingers Shughart is. This is a guy who will fight anybody. Give him a call. He will fight you. He looks the part. He hits hard, and he's also a blue belt in jiu-jitsu. So anxious to see. He comes out of the Doom crew with Ben Parrish, usually in his corner. I don't see Ben tonight, but he's training with the Doom crew out of Oxford Fitness Kickboxing. Jamie Houston, he definitely got good coaches behind him.
Yeah, absolutely. Doom crew guys always show up to fight. Super tough, tight-knit group of guys, obviously. They run in a pack for sure. So
and they will fight anybody.
I'm kind of surprised not to see Big Ben here tonight. I always like to see Ben Parrish, just super nice guy and great MMA fighter here on the regional scene, trying to make his way to the big show.
Absolutely. Hoping he recovers soon from that horrific leg injury he received, but there's no telling he'll be back on the big stage pretty soon. Let's go up to Jamie.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next contest is a professional bout scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first in the blue corner, a mixed martial artist making his professional debut. Standing at 6 feet even, weighing 169.9 pounds. Fighting out of Memphis, Tennessee, and representing the police brutality of law school MMA. Make some noise for Kenny Bam Bam Gray! Ladies and gentlemen, in the red corner, a Muay Thai fighter with a professional record of 0 wins, 2 losses, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing 169.9 pounds, fighting out of Oxford, Mississippi. Give it up for Frankie Four Fingers Shughart. Third man in charge of the action this evening, Mr. Kelly Leo. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it on.
So we got our first pro fight of the night here, which go 5-minute rounds. Both guys made weight here, coming in under the 170-pound welterweight limit, so looking forward to this. They definitely handled their business like professionals leading up to the fight.
Absolutely. Looks like some big... Frankie is a heavy hitter now, and he is 0-2, but those are 0-2 pro fights. He has an extensively long amateur career.
Yeah, and Frankie's absolutely big for welterweight. And you can tell looking in there with the frame.
Huge overhand right. Followed it up with a huge left hook. Let's see this wrestling that Brian Hall has been talking about. We're going for a high crotch, and he takes him for a ride. He's going to take him for a ride here. Let's see where he decides to dump him, right on his head.
And Frankie was going to try to come up with a Kimura trap there, but unfortunately he was able to get the arm and dig the deep underhook on the high crotch there.
You can see that wrestling. Daniel Cormier loves that high crotch too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Watch the triangle attempt. He's doing good things by
controlling that leg there, not allowing him to get that leg up and lock that down was a great move there by Kenny.
Now, Frankie does train a lot with Jamie Houston, brown belt, no-gi world champion. So Frankie does have some chops on the ground. We don't see it a lot because he likes to stand and bang, but you can obviously see he had a, right away throwing up that triangle attempt. He's working for it again right now.
Actually, he's working from omoplata here. Going to get the roll through, but he's going to come up on top. Great transition there. And that's what you see a lot in MMA. It's hard to finish the omoplata, but it makes for a great sweeping transition.
He pulled guard there, but his arm in guillotine is going to be very hard to finish.
Yeah, it's pretty loose here. You can see his head coming out. All he's going to do is burn his arms out there in that situation.
And he's a pro. He knew it. He let go.
Smart move there to let go and try to work to something else.
Now, obviously, he rolled through omoplata attempt, came up on top, but obviously, Kenny Gray, great wrestler, went straight for that single.
Yeah, went right back to it. But listen, I thought that was a great move by Frankie to try to use that in the transition. Just unfortunately, that chain wrestling there comes back to haunt you when you're going against somebody who's really good at that.
Let's see if Frankie has anything more in his guard. He's actually going to work for that triangle one more time. He's getting close. Each and every time he gets a little bit closer. He's trying to hide that shoulder right now.
Yeah, Kenny's trying to push the leg down to pass. I'm not sure he should be trying to do that in this situation as opposed to trying to posture up and rain down some ground and pound. When he's pushing that leg down, if Frankie's able to slip that arm back through and you got one arm in, one arm out, the triangle's going to be there for him. And this is what we're more looking for. He's posturing up here.
A cup fell out of Kenny Gray. I was making notice of that earlier.
Yeah.
Off the air.
But once again, what we saw there, he postured up big time and was raining down the ground and pound. I think that's going to be the smarter move. Frankie didn't like that, so you see Frankie now trying to really control his posture. Frankie working back now for the triangle again.
And this is tight right now.
He's got to transition to the other side. If he can transition to the other side now, he can work the arm bar as well from here. This is super tight. If he can reach under the leg right now, under the left, he uses his left arm to reach under the leg and pull down on the head.
Frankie's head is up against the cage. Might not let him get his hips all the way up into it.
That does a lot, but Kenny's going the wrong way. Well, and he broke out of it. So sometimes strength can get you out of some bad spots, especially when you're up against the cage like that. Frankie's not able to posture those legs down and really hold his head down like he should.
He's going to that side ride. See if he transitions into a seatbelt. Looks like he has. So this is a controlling position. Frankie could stand up if he wants, but he doesn't want to take those punches right now.
Yeah, but like we talked about earlier, this hip ride from an experienced wrestler, and look, you can see right there, he's got the arm locked on the other side. He's trapping Frankie's arm on the backside. Makes it extremely tough. The ground and pound's coming. He's going to hit him with some big shots here. Frankie's trying to dig out the Kimura again. He's got to be careful, though, because he doesn't have control of his legs. You can see him right now trying to control the back leg there, which is a good job. They had to give up the Kimura because he's raining down on him with some elbows.
That's one of the faults of a Kimura in an MMA match is you take both of your hands and you commit them somewhere where you don't have the defense.
Correct.
Big shots. We got 51 seconds left in this opening round. Great round, but look at that wrist control.
Yeah,
Kenny Gray Jr. has that wrist control. Yeah. And it's stopping Frankie from doing anything offensive at this point.
Yeah, it takes away that whole half of his body, really. And then he's bringing in the ground and pound from the other side. Frankie's trying to use that hand to posture and try to stand up. Just makes it really difficult.
That's a good knee to the thigh. You cannot knee to the head of a grounded opponent. Frankie is grounded. Now he is not. Actually, Mississippi, he is still grounded at this position.
Is that because the hand is down there?
That is, yeah. In Mississippi, it's only a three-point system of grounded opponents. So in the UFC, anywhere other than Mississippi, he would have been legal to knee there. We are coming down to the wire, getting ready to go into the second round. Let's see what Frankie tries to explode if he's good being here.
Ladies and gentlemen, round number 1 is in the books. Make some noise.
I'm actually pretty impressed with the first round of both of these fighters.
Yeah, we had some good transitions in there, but obviously you got to score that 10-9 for Kenny Bam Bam Gray. He just had the transitions there, had the dominant wrestling positions, hit him with some good shots, too, in those situations.
But now we know that Frankie on his back is a legitimate threat in that position.
Yeah, and I think we saw that towards the end of the round. Kenny was kind of a little bit more conservative in his approach. He didn't want to get swept again, didn't want to give up position. He kind of rode the hip ride, rained down with the ground and pound.
Brian Law probably saying, hey, listen, you got a posture on every triangle attempt.
Yeah, he did a good job of breaking that. You know, I tell you, Frankie was doing everything right in that situation. The only thing was being crushed up against that cage makes it extremely hard.
Seconds out, please. Seconds out.
You know, triangle.
He is extremely sopping wet right now. I'm sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, round number 2 coming at you. Make some noise.
Brian Hall definitely knows how to play the rules. Let's pour water.
Little gamesmanship there to keep him out of those submissions, maybe. I don't know.
Let's pour water on you. This isn't Greasegate, it's Watergate. Kenny Gray's hands are down, but it looks like.
Yeah, you can tell, though, Frankie's really respecting his wrestling. You know, he's kind of already seen that, felt that.
I don't know if this is any indication, but Kenny Gray's mouth is wide open right now. Looks like Frankie looks really composed, though, right now. He's doing a really good job.
You know, and his pro debut here for Kenny, too, so you have to see how he reacts in these situations we get into the deeper water.
Watch out for an overhand now after that body shot. Might be setting up an overhand. Yep, I knew it was going to come sooner or later. This is a lot tighter guillotine, but his arm is in. He still doesn't arm in guillotine. Frankie's going to have to let this go. If he can switch that other arm in, he might be able to sweep. He should really try and sweep from this position as well.
Yeah, he's going to gas his arms out here if he can't finish this, and it's not looking like it's going to be a finisher right now. I don't know.
Oh, my goodness. This is
a pretty
looking
good grimace there.
No, he's safe.
Yeah, he's trying to pop his head out there. Frankie's not giving up on it. He still feels like he can get it.
There we go, that arm in. Those, you cannot, that lactic acid buildup in your arm from that position is something that not a lot of people have experienced, but I have. It's brutal.
And especially as we go later into the fight, trying to finish one of those gets harder and harder.
Frankie's really just going to need to control some posture right now and just get that blood circulating back again. See, he doesn't even want to go for it again there.
Yeah. So what should he try to do here? Try to get up against the cage here and kind of...
Not give up your back, first of all, but you need to be able to wall walk up and turn into him at this position. Frankie's doing it right now. Watch, he's going to explode up and try and dig a far side underhook. But that wrestling is just hip on hip. He's not letting him get up there.
Yeah, we're seeing a similar situation we saw in the first round here, similar positions.
Kimura attempt.
Yeah, and he actually could use this to try to stand up. He's not, though. Working hard to dig it out. Once again, we were talking about earlier, lactic acid. This is another one of those moves that takes a little bit of arm and shoulder strength.
But now he's really locked in, though, if he's got his hands connected, where it's not using as much strength. Kenny Gray looks like he's only using strength right now. Oh.
Slipped out of it.
That's,
you know, he didn't have control of the legs there, and so that allows him to be able to slip out like that because he can rise, kind of come up the body with the Kimura. A lot of times you'll see guys roll out of that, give up the sweep to stop the submission, but he was able to get high enough where he could just slip the arm back out.
And it looks like he's going to dig for that Kimura one more time because he traps that arm.
Good roll through. See how he does in transition here. Good top position there by
Shughart. Huge elbows! Huge elbows!
Yeah, 12-6 here now, which is legal as long as he doesn't hit him in the back of the head. He's holding on to the single leg here, trying to reverse position.
Let's see. Kelly Leo is taking a deep look at this. No,
we got some blood here, Eric.
We
got some big-time blood coming out of Kenny here. So some of those elbows did a big cut here.
Great sprawl right there. Let's see what happened. It looks like this fight is nearing an end unless he explodes up.
Yeah, I mean, it's just pouring out of the forehead there. So Frankie dropped one of those elbows, cut him wide open. Trying to take the back. He's got to be careful because it's going to be a slippery situation. He don't want to get too far over on the side. He needs to climb back up.
There you go. Good job. Now rain those elbows again, just like so.
He's kind of got the crucifix position a little bit with the legs on the back arm there of Kenny.
Kenny needs to move or Kelly Leo is going to stop this fight.
And he's tough as nails, though. You can see him. He's trying to drive through now for the single leg here. He's just holding on to that leg for dear life, trying to transition back.
Let's see what happens here. This is a murder scene with this blood right here in this cage.
Yeah, big shots here. And you can see Frankie's trying to stay legal, not hit him in the back of the head, but find those holes, you know, through his defenses to try to hit some big shots.
These are some big shots making its way through now.
And you got to give him credit. He is trying to stay in there.
Kelly Leo definitely letting this fight continue.
Yeah, super tough.
10 seconds left in this fight, or in this round, I'm sorry. Looks like Kelly's going to let it see a third round.
You know, and you got to wonder if Frankie's kind of punched himself out here. He
wow,
threw a lot of big shots.
Ladies and gentlemen, round number 2 is in the books.
I mean, we're talking over a minute of full-on ground and pound shots.
Frankie, I'm watching Frankie. He is very slow getting up. He is exhausted, but he's got to be reinvigorated by his performance in that second round.
Yeah, and that cut is going to be something to take a look at here. Looks like it's on the side of the eye, possibly.
That was one of those 12-6 elbows coming through. Frankie definitely tired right now. He is down. They're cleaning this mat up because, wow.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your Attitude MMA ring girl.
Yeah, it looks like a crime scene up there.
Brian Hall is imploring his fighter right now in the corner, telling him how tired Frankie is right now.
Seconds out, please. Seconds out.
I am excited for this third and final round.
Seconds out, please. Seconds out.
Yeah, so we have the tail of
Ladies and
2
gentlemen,
rounds.
round number 3 coming at you. Make some noise.
Who wants it most? Yeah. Third and final round. Kenny Gray Jr., Frankie Four Fingers Shughart. Let's go. Nice underhook. Double unders. Let's see what.
Yeah, good transition there. Good shots on the break. Kenny coming back throwing some big shots himself, though.
Oh, big left hook by Kenny Gray right there.
Another one, another right hook there. I mean, Frankie's kind of come back here, throw a few knees.
He wanted that short elbow. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Frankie's got to dig that near side underhook. He's going with the whizzer right now.
Yeah.
But if he could dig that underhook, he'll be able to turn him very easily.
Looks like Kenny Gray's kind of getting a warning here for grabbing the cage.
Both sides. Throw that knee. That knee's right there. He can easily spin off in this position, but these guys are just exhausted.
I was going to say both of these guys have put it all on the line, and you can tell now in the third round they're just trying to stay in there and keep rolling forward. Good little short punches here. You know, it looks like Frankie's trying to set up the tie clinch for the knee here.
He needs a little space. He doesn't have the space right now, but if he circles out a little bit, he can catch him. Kenny's just content with holding on the fence. There we go. Yeah. Frankie got a far side underhook and now trying to move him. This is a war right now. This is a battle of who wants it most right now.
Yeah. Frankie's throwing some short punches to the head, but Kenny's coming back and throwing some big body shots there.
3 minutes left in this third and final round.
You know, and obviously with how tough for both guys that second round was, you know, Frankie's throwing big shots there. It's going to gas him out.
Kelly, Leo separate. We're all anxious to see. Let's get these guys back in the center of the cage and see what happens. As you were saying, Grant?
Yeah, of course, Kenny took those big shots. You know, Gray took the big shots there in the second round, so that took a lot out of him. And we're kind of seeing that, you know, coming to fruition here in the third round.
Third round slightly in Kenny's favor, I'd say right now, but Frankie's now putting him on his back foot.
Yeah, we're about
huge left hook.
Here. Oh, shot the uppercut, barely missed it by Frankie there. Shot on the double A, got in deep.
Frankie needs to get up. Frankie needs to get up now if he wants a chance to win this fight. Being so exhausted, it's going to be very, very tough. Kenny Gray knows exactly what to do. He's going to control that head, not let him belly down to try and get to his knees.
Yeah, and it's a mistake to let him kind of set up his position here. He needs to try to scramble out of this as quick as he can. And we're back into that hip ride position again.
Ben Parrish was here, he'd be saying, stand up, stand up, stand up. He's got that far side wrist control. He does an excellent job at doing that. This seems very natural for him.
Yeah, you can definitely see that wrestling experience coming into play there. Just allowing him to control that half of the body, keep him against the cage.
And this crowd is electric for this fight.
Yeah, and if, right now Kenny's winning this round here, Frankie's got to explode out of this somehow.
Going for that Kimura trap again. He just doesn't have the energy right now.
It's not a good angle for that side from it either. He really just needs to get out of this position.
If he could stand and explode, turn in, then we got something brewing. But right now in this position, he's just letting him ride him out right now. And easier said than done. I mean, look at this hip position.
Yeah, we're talking about a guy who's a high-level wrestler here. He knows how to get in this position and hold you in that position.
Frankie could take his arm and shoot it under and get the far side hip. He might be able to come out the back. And that's like what he might be trying to do right here.
Yep, right now.
Just like that. There we go. That is exactly what I was talking about.
He only got 36 seconds here. This makes this pretty interesting. He's raining down some big shots. Similar positions to what we had in the first. In the second round.
This might be deep, but he doesn't have the angle.
He doesn't have the angle, but he's trying to crank it here.
We got 20 seconds
It's
left.
under the chin. He just needs to climb up there. Yeah, just couldn't do it. Just too slippery.
Triangle attempt.
Triangle again. Left arm in. Got to switch the transition here to the angle on that to try to finish and pull the head down.
He is transitioning a little bit, posturing up. This is close.
He's
this is very, very
going to the
close.
right side.
And we have the buzzer. Third and final round over. Grant, who you got?
Listen, I don't know who's going to,
My call is Frankie edged it out with those last two submission attempts.
I would say so. I think if we're scoring it in that third round, there towards the end, he definitely did get the submission attempts in. It was a lot of hip riding on the other side. So, it's just going to depend on what the judges saw there and how they scored that. But, man, it's just a close fight. It's going to be razor thin either way. So, we'll just have to see what the judges saw there. I kind of tend to agree with you, Eric, that with those submission attempts, Frankie would have kind of swung it in the third round his way. Kenny did have a lot of hip ride and a lot of top control in that situation, but not so much scoring there with any big shots or damage. We saw Frankie really throw the bigger shots there at the end of the round, and then obviously come up with the triangle submission, try to get that finish at the end. Just ran out of time. Obviously, though, both guys super tough. Great transitions on both sides. A very even fight. You hate to be a judge in this situation because they gave you a lot to score there. It's a shame somebody's got to lose this one, but that's the way it goes. Someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. So we're waiting on the final decision now. The Athletic Commission will be collecting those scorecards and get those up to our ring announcer, Jamie Grant. You can tell both guys just exhausted. They both put it all out there on the line for that fight, obviously. Going to be another one of those finalists for Fight of the Night for sure. There we go. Mike Kane with the Mississippi State Athletic Commission.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards and we have a split decision. Judge number 1 scores it 29-28. Shughart. Judge 2 scores it 29-28. Gray. Judge 3 with 29-27, and winner, the red corner, Frankie Shughart!
Send it up to Eric McMahon for our post-fight interview with your winner, Frankie
So I've been
Shughart.
waiting to pull this one out. I'm opening up the jacket in honor of you. I'm comfortable with violence. And that was a violent show. Give it up for both fighters in this fight. Now, Frankie, you've been around the game a long time. I said on the broadcast, anybody who's a fan of MMA in the Mid-South knows your name. Where does this fight rank in the toughest fights of your career?
Second toughest, next to that long kick. This was bad.
So, you like to stand and bang, and a lot of people have not seen your jiu-jitsu. And we made a comment, training with the Doom Crew, Oxford Fitness Kickboxing, Jamie Houston. We knew you had chops on the ground, and you showed it tonight. But more importantly, I think you showed your heart in this fight. Were you real happy with your performance?
You know, could have gone a lot more smoothly, but can't be upset about a win.
I don't think anybody is dissatisfied in the fight we saw tonight. Congratulations. Give it up for your winner, Frankie, 4 Fingers, Shughart.
Super impressive win there by Frankie.
These guys with 9 toes, 4 fingers. I'm counting them. They got all those nubs. Ladies and gentlemen, our next professional bout this evening is brought to you by Mallet Furniture, with locations in Cleveland, Mississippi, and right here in Greenwood, located at 2290 US 82, right here in Greenwood, Mississippi. Give them a call at 662-455-9699 for all your furniture needs. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Mr. Bobby Taylor.
And I am coming off the high of that first pro fight of the night. Frankie 4 Fingers Shughart with the split decision victory. I agree with the decision. Grant?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can't argue with any decision in that situation because it's a super close fight, but I'm with you. I thought Frankie kind of edged it out at the end with the big shots and the submission. It all came down to that third round, though.
Now, up next, potential fight of the night. We have...
After we just had a fight
Oh, my goodness. I don't know what's going to top that fight.
We got a lot of candidates here.
But we got Bobby Taylor making his way to the cage. Now, Bobby Taylor, 4-time Tough Man contest winner. This guy got his start in fighting by fraternity fight nights. And he would just go and knock people out. This guy touches you, you go to sleep. Plain and simple.
Yeah, and Bobby's worked a lot on his ground game, too, so we don't need to sleep on that. You know, he's good at getting into the top position there, raining down the ground and pound. Like you said, the guy's got hands made of granite, literally. Yeah. And if he touches your chin, it's not going to be a very good night for you.
So another law school MMA product trying to end the night on another victory, trying to go 4-1 on the night. I'm sorry, 3-1 on the night. And I'm excited for this next fighter as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Mr. James Warfield.
Well, we've definitely got an interesting entrance here, Eric. A little theatrics going on here by James Warfield. Obviously a big-time veteran fighting out of Chicago, Illinois. We saw him fight on the last Attitude card against Jaleel the Realist Willis.
And he gave one of the hottest prospects in all the land a fight of the night candidate.
Yeah, and I think if we look back at the guys that this guy's fought, I mean, we're talking about some of the who's who in UFC.
I'll go down the line right now. He fought Dakota Cochran. He's fought Luis Palomino. He's fought Rory Markham. He's fought Ease Edwards, Seth Balachinsky.
Yeah.
This guy has fought everybody in this sport.
Yeah, you're talking about some really tough guys. So he is a wily veteran. We saw that against Jaleel. I'm interested to see, you know, he's a guy who likes to get in there and bang too, just like Bobby does. So I think the matchup here could, like you said, it's a potential fight of the night for sure.
And, you know, Bobby is really excited for this fight we were talking about. He says this is one of the guys that has the guts, or balls, dare I say, to stand in front of me and trade with me.
Yeah, a little bit of theatrics here too. Obviously, as a veteran, he's very comfortable coming down to the cage, getting ready for a fight. You know, we're not seeing a lot of nerves or anything from this guy.
No, and I actually recently just heard that he changed coaches after his last loss to Jaleel Realist, which a lot of people, like, that was a dog fight of a fight.
Absolutely.
So he has no shame in that loss. But let's see if any big changes have come out of that. Jaleel really dominated in the wrestling department.
Yeah.
You know, Bobby doesn't have the chops in wrestling that Jaleel, so I don't think that's going to be as big of an issue.
Yeah.
But who knows?
That's not what Bobby's really interested in. Bobby's interested in getting there and touching hands with you and touching your chin. So.
And that's what James was based off the
exactly.
Jaleel fight.
Exactly.
So, you know, you can tell this guy is not scared to fight. If you would say, what does an MMA fighter look like? That's what an MMA fighter looks like, just stereotypically.
Yeah, I mean, definitely from what we saw the last time we saw this guy fight, I'm really looking forward to this fight. I can't say that enough. Attitude 20, been great tonight so far. We've had so many good fights.
Scotty Swagger always does a great job matching these cards.
Yeah, I said earlier, he's one of the better matchmakers, obviously, in this area. He looks for these great matchups. We hate it when some of those fall through, unfortunately, because we had some other really great matchups on this card. But this one was the one you and I were kind of like was going to be the sleeper of the night.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, give it up for Paul, owner of Attitude MMA, putting on another fantastic card.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is a professional contest scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first in the blue corner, a mixed martial artist with a professional record of 5 wins and 11 losses, standing at 5 feet. With a professional record of 8 wins and 9 losses, standing at 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 168.6 pounds, fighting out of Pocahontas, Tennessee. Representing the police brutality of law school MMA, make some noise for Bobby O.D.B. Taylor! Ladies and gentlemen, introducing in the red corner, an all-war fighter with a professional record of 23 wins, 15 losses, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 172.7 pounds, fighting out of Chicago, Illinois, representing Team Top Notch. Make some noise for James, the unbreakable heavy hitter, Warfield! Third man in charge of the action, Mr. Jason Aldridge. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get it on.
Your co-main event, Bobby ODB Taylor versus James Warfield. I, for one, cannot be more excited. I hope this one lives up to our previous pro fight.
Yeah, James Warfield came out there with a little bit of theatrics there on the entrance, too. Shot him with a machine gun.
He had the Tommy gun.
Yeah.
Here we go, and we're off and running.
Old school Chicago gangster there.
Warfield takes the center of the cage right here. Yeah, Bobby kind of just looking to counter, but that's what he does. He counters and he counters hard.
Yeah, he paws that jab, and then, man, when he hits you with that counter, it is going to hurt.
Bobby very calculated here. Throws a huge right hook.
Little smile there, too.
But you know what? Warfield felt that power really quick. Even though he caught it on the arm, he felt it. You know, that's what he kind of gave him that acknowledgement. Ooh.
Immediately shooting in with underhooks, try to get the trip there.
Bobby Taylor, good enough wrestling takedown where, you know, unless you're an elite wrestler, you're
quick knees there. Nice. Ooh, man, Bobby just slipped that spinning back fist. That was nasty.
Oh.
Good uppercut.
Taylor, short right uppercut.
Good inside leg kick.
Bobby Taylor likes to stand right in the pocket, invites you in to trade, and then lowers a boom. But James Warfield walking him down, and he is not scared of that Bobby Taylor power right now.
Yeah, it doesn't appear to be. You're talking about two guys that are veterans here. They're extremely technical.
Oh.
Yeah. They're doing a little talking, a little jawing in there, too. Makes it interesting.
He clipped Bobby Taylor right on the jaw. Bobby Taylor didn't move. Did not move, James Warfield said. I feel you. right now Warfield just looks a little more lighter on the feet right now. And you know, that might be gamesmanship of a Bobby Taylor inviting you in, but who knows? He's looking to spin right here.
Yeah, and like you said, Bobby's a little more of a counter striker.
Right there.
Good knee attempt there by James. Boy, he likes that spinning back fist, man. That's twice now. He's just barely missed it. Good job of Bobby.
Warfield is having a blast in here right now. Warfield really set up one of those spinning attacks. You kind of saw it a mile away, but, you know, he's making Bobby think. He's making Bobby think.
Yeah, and Bobby's definitely getting out of the way of those. He's seeing those, but once again, that's adding a wrinkle there to the game.
Warfield is doing a great job countering Bobby's counters. Oh, huge uppercut by Warfield. He can't come in with his arms down, though.
Yeah, he's looking comfortable, but he doesn't want to get too comfortable.
Bobby Taylor, huge abrasion on his cheek. I don't know if that was from a punch or one of those flying knees that grazed him.
Oh, man. Caught him there, a little shot. Definitely stiffened his legs up a little bit with that one.
Ooh,
man, Warfield is throwing. He brought that one from his hip pocket.
We said there's no way this one is going to decision, and I'm still standing with that.
Yeah, we're definitely seeing some big shots here.
James Warfield widely telegraphed that shot. Bobby Taylor easily gets out of the way.
Yeah, he's throwing with bad intentions, but he's throwing them from way too far back.
Bobby is kind of coming a little bit straight back. I'd like to see him change an angle there, but, you know, Bobby's a pro. He has, 8 pro boxing matches, I believe, under his belt as well. 10 knockouts in MMA, and when he knocks you out, like, I can't say this enough, he puts people to sleep. James Warfield, the pressure seems, seems to really be winning this round for him right now. He's looking to set up a spin again.
Yeah, he's good at switching stances there, kind of making Bobby think about things.
Spin.
Yeah, there was another spin, but Bobby now immediately goes try to take it
back. Did
back.
Bobby eat that, though?
A little bit, but it looked like it just grazed him. It didn't look like a bad shot. I like that he immediately tried to go to the back. He got a little more control there. Here we go again with his hip right. He's controlling the arm just like we saw in the last fight. And that's a bad position, giving up those big shots.
Warfield trying to come out the back. These are huge elbows.
Yeah, those elbows are not the place you want to be. Now he's trying to switch to the double. Kind of drive through against the cage here.
James Warfield looking to improve his wrestling since Jalil fight.
And you can see Bobby's already trying to kind of wall walk up here. He knows he's got to get out of this situation, not where he wants to be.
He wants to keep that far side wrist, though, because that is what's controlling everything right now. Had to let it go. Let's see if Warfield returns some punches here.
Nice knee there. Whoa, man.
Ooh, Bobby Taylor just took a huge left hand and a right
Ladies and gentlemen, round number 1 is in the books. Make some noise.
All right, Grant. I don't know either.
Yeah, I'm giving you the I don't know, man. I mean, we saw a lot of back and forth action in that round. That's another one of those ones. If you look at damage, Bobby obviously showing a little more damage. Veteran guys, though, tend to get kind of cut up and dinged up a little bit quicker. They got that scar tissue on their face. So once again, this is all going to come down to what those judges saw in that round. What did you think?
You know what? Bobby Taylor may have edged out that first round with that little bit of ground and pound late, but I honestly think just the pressure of Warfield, the counter punching that he had, the cleaner shots that were hit, I give Warfield a razor thin.
Seconds out, please. Yeah. Seconds out.
And it's just going to matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, round number 2 coming at you. Make some noise.
What those judges saw.
But, I mean, Bobby Taylor hit him with some huge elbows late in that round. Could have turned the tide. Who knows? I'm excited to see round 2, though. That's what I'll tell you.
Absolutely.
Bobby coming out now. He takes the center of the cage. First round, maybe, who knows? Maybe he was sitting back seeing what James had. Now it looks like he's being the aggressor here.
Yeah, it might have been Brian Law Hall kind of giving him a little bit of advice there, too, that he wanted him to push the pace a little bit. You know, coming out of the corner, kind of get to see what the fighters' instructions they probably got, because that's what they're going to come out and try to implement right at the start of the next round.
James Warfield does a great job of in and out, in and out, in and out. He changes levels.
Yeah, switching stances, too. Changes levels, switches stances. You know, it's a lot of wrinkles there for Bobby to try to think about. Man, now we're kind of seeing what we thought we might see. Both these guys kind of in the phone booth.
Ooh,
right
huge knee. Huge knee. Bobby Taylor trying to get out of
shots. There. Looked like Bobby might got hurt there definitely because he was trying to get out of that situation quickly. And I think that exchange there is kind of what we thought we were going to see. So maybe now towards the, this fight kind of going on into the second round, we're going to start to see these guys loosen up and really go at it.
You can tell neither one of these guys minds fighting in a phone booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
This is making Bobby work, making Bobby work.
Yeah, Bobby's got a cut open too now up on the hairline there on the forehead. We'll see how that could hurt him later on in the fight if that blood starts to trickle down into the eyes. Makes it extremely tough to see.
Warfield needs to clear his head here. He's okay. There's no worry about a guillotine right now. Bobby Taylor's just going to use it to try and stand up.
And Bobby's trying to go back and forth, figure out what's the best way to kind of dig out those underhooks and try to get up off the mat here. Not where he wants to be. Warfield kind of backs out and gives him the stand up.
Oh, huge left hand by Bobby Taylor, but now they are trading. Look at these shots. Oh, my goodness. This is what we thought we were going to see.
Spinning back fist. We'll see what the cardio holds up on this. I mean, we're talking about they're using a lot of strength.
Bobby Taylor just
jumping to the back. Yeah, and this is deep. He's still on the chin here. Warfield's doing a good job of trying to defend, but he needs to be defending that choke arm. It's on the chin right now.
There he goes. Looks like he's free of the choke at least. He needs to stand up right away, explode up.
Yeah,
you cannot have Bobby Taylor raining bombs on you like this.
I agree. But Bobby's going to that hip ride position here. He tried to explode up there, now he rolls through. See him in half guard here with Bobby on top. He's got him flattened out, though. This is not where Warfield wants to be. And see Bobby now, he's trying to posture up, start dropping the ground and pound.
Warford really needs to get on a hip and get an underhook.
Which he's work to do right there. He got him back to close guard. Still not a great position to be in, though, here with Bobby. We'll see what Warfield can do. We didn't get to see a lot of his close guard in his last fight. We'll see what he can transition to here. Maybe threaten some submissions just to try to get the stand up.
Looks like he's just kind of trying to recompose himself right now, get a breath.
Listen, both guys expended a lot of energy in that last
Bobby Taylor ripped him to his back.
Yeah.
He ripped him to his back.
Yeah, he's what we call country strong around here.
I thought you were going to say something else strong, but good on you. Ooh, nice little sweep attempt. Tried the little scissor sweep attempt right there.
Yeah, good to see. I mean, like I said, Bobby really needs to posture up here and start raining down. Now, like we both said earlier, both these guys are probably trying to recompose themselves after those two exchanges on the feet in this round. And no one would blame them for that. Like, they burned a lot of cardio doing that. You said earlier, talking about a video game, those two exchanges were about the best thing we've seen close to a video game tonight.
Did you just watch the previous fight as well, though?
Yep, it was good. Don't get me wrong.
All right, just coming up on 30 seconds left in round number 2, which has been action-packed. Seeming to calm down a little bit right now. I think these fighters are just recomposing themselves.
Yeah, see, Bobby's kind of got his arm across the throat here just to make it a little uncomfortable on him, keep him from posturing up. Throwing a few body shots there, trying to switch back and forth.
15 seconds left in this round.
But other than the scissor sweep, which we're trying to see maybe setting up here again, we're not seeing a lot of threat of anything here to make Bobby work. Maybe trying to work up to a high guard there, but just not making it happen.
In this late in the fight, with how sweaty they are, that's nearly impossible with an experienced pro like Bobby.
And especially up against the cage like that. Going to be hard to get in.
Ladies and gentlemen, round number 2 is in the books. Make some noise!
So this looks like it all could be coming down to round number 3.
Yeah. Definitely. And what a round that was, you know. Now, it depends on how you scored that first round. You kind of edged Bobby on that, but it could have went either way.
James Warfield was yelling across the cage to Bobby Taylor right there.
Yeah, but no doubt about it, though. Bobby won that round.
Oh, 100%.
So now, you know, Warfield has really got to come out and go for the finish because he can't gamble that he actually, you know, won that first round. He really needs to come out and try to finish Bobby here. You know, it's going to be close either way.
He just did one too many spinning attacks. That spinning attack led to Bobby getting his back.
It cost him twice there. You know, he took the back the first time he was able to slip out, and then he cost him again on the second time. So, and that is the danger with the spinning attacks. They're flashy, but they give up position to a seasoned veteran like Bobby. He's going to be able to get to a better position.
Seconds out, please. Seconds out. Ladies and gentlemen, third and final round coming at you. Make some noise.
We called this a fight of the night. It has not disappointed. Third and final round, it could potentially all come down to this. I mean, great show of respect right here.
Yeah, hey, and we got fighters out of the locker room out here right now watching this fight. That just tells you what's going on. Like, guys know this is going to be a barn burner.
Everybody right around us is on their feet watching this fight. James Warfield, Chicago, Illinois. ODB, Bobby Taylor. Memphis, Tennessee, Law School MMA, third and final round.
A lot of heavy breathing on both sides here.
Huge knee. Oh, Bobby's hurt right now. Yeah. Bobby is hurt.
Yeah, his leg went a little straight right there if you saw that. And that's what we said. Hey, we said Warfield was going to have to come out here and possibly get the finish here.
Ooh.
And he's coming out like he knows that's what he's got to do.
He needs to stop those spinning attacks, though.
He almost got it again.
They look great, but Bobby Taylor's so strong, though. Such a veteran. Typically in the past, this has been Bobby's kryptonite right here, this position. But Law School MMA, black belt, jiu-jitsu guy, Brian Hall, former state championship wrestler and his coach. Let's see how he's going to get up from this position. Warfield is just content right now just to sit on him. Looks like he's talking to him.
Kind of talking in his ear a little bit there, too. The whispering kind of pleasantries in his ear about what he's doing to him. So, you know, we'll see if that motivates Bobby possibly.
Ooh, that is a huge knee. If Bobby wasn't tired before, that is what zaps your gas tank. Those big shots.
No doubt about it. Takes a ton out of you.
Going to a frontside headlock. Not sure why James switched to this position. He was riding it out before, but now it looks like he's waiting for Bobby to stand up.
I was going to say, he may be trying to time a knee here, too.
Knees to the body.
Yeah.
Jason Aldridge right on top of the action. Those were clean.
Bobby's got to be real careful. If he tries to spring up to his feet too quickly, the knee is set up right there to the head.
There, Warfield's going to go right back to that hip control. This is such a dominant position right now.
I can't tell if Warfield's talking to Bobby or the referee. Looked like maybe he was talking to Jason Aldridge there.
Ooh.
Oh, tried to slip down for the takedown there.
Kind of just slipped right off Bobby's head there. It's really,
yeah,
Bobby's looking
at first I thought he was going for a guillotine.
So did I.
Yeah. Both guys, though, bloody, sweaty, super slippery in this situation.
Warfield, 2.5 minutes left in this third and final round. Looks like he has definitely got the advantage in this third and final round. He may need a finish here, though.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just that first round was just razor close. I don't think he can risk it. You know, we could end up with another split decision like we had in the last fight. But if he gets a finish here, that would definitely be the route he would want to take.
2 minutes left in this co-main event.
Yeah, both guys look really tired, but Bobby looks exhausted. He's asking Aldridge to stand him up. You know, he's basically telling him he's not doing anything to him. But, you know, Warfield worked hard to get to this position. He's dominating right now, controlling, throwing knees to the body. It's not a situation where you really can stand him up here.
Absolutely not, and that definitely got Bobby's respect right there. Many rules meetings I've been in and I've given, and I always say, hey, do not look for me to stand you up. If that fighter earned that position, he's going to keep it for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one thing if you're sitting and just laying on somebody waiting on the round to come out, but listen, he's throwing strikes here. He's throwing those knees right there.
To the calf.
Yeah, just drop that knee on the calf. I mean, he did it again.
There you go, Bobby.
And immediately you see Bobby bring that leg up. He doesn't want to have that happen again.
Going for that front headlock. Look like he might be turning into a guillotine.
Yeah. Well,
he's not going to get it from there.
Yeah.
Now he might.
No,
Nope.
too sweaty.
Too sweaty.
Yeah. I mean, you saw his head kind of immediately slip.
50 seconds left in the round. Let's see if Bobby can get some of these points back. Third and final round.
And so that's always the danger in trying to go for those types of submissions at the end of the round like that. If you slip off like that, now if Bobby could get here and do some damage, he might could swing the judges his way for this third round. He's going to need to get to work here, though, if he's going to do it.
He just rubbed Bobby's head. Said something to him and rubbed his head.
Yeah, Bobby spent too much time on the bottom half of this exchange for this round.
And he's not doing enough with this position right now.
He's not doing any damage right now from the top, which he needs to do to
James Warfield is just having a conversation in there. That's an excellent stand-up.
Yeah, excellent. And you just see Bobby there's tired. I mean, way to get out of that knee, though. Because he threw that knee with some reckless intention.
Ooh.
Another spinning elbow attempt. Bobby ducked right under it. And that's the end of the round. End of the fight there.
I did not know that was coming. I wasn't watching the clock. I was watching these fighters bang it out.
Man.
I don't know how this fight is going to be decided.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
We're going to the scorecard.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of the 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. Make some noise!
Too close to call, in my opinion. First round, it decides this fight.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And I think Jamie Grant, kind of going back to what I was saying there, but obviously that first round, how those judges judge that round will be the difference in this fight. We saw Bobby come back and have a great second round there, get the dominant control in the round. But, Warfield being super tough, being that wily veteran that he is, he comes back in the third round. Super gutsy performance by him. And basically, just clearly won that round. Bobby did get the reversal there, but wasn't able to do any damage. He did the quick technical stand up there to get out, to kick off, and then was able to finish the round with just some awesome striking, spinning attacks. Wow, what a great fight. Just super impressive performance by both these guys. You can tell they're dog tired, put it all on the line. Mike Kane with the Mississippi Athletic Commission is in the octagon now. He's getting the scorecards together. So we'll find out here very soon from our ring announcer, Jamie Grant, who the winner of this co-main event is. Can't say enough, though. Just super performance from both fighters. They really put it all on the line tonight.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we went to the judges' scorecard. After 3 rounds, we have a split decision. Judge number 1 scores the match 29-28 in favor of the blue corner, Mr. Taylor. Judge number 2 scores the match 30-27 for the red corner, Mr. Warfield. And judge number 3 scores the match 29-28 with our winner, the blue corner, Mr. Bobby ODB Taylor, winner by split decision.
Well, let's send it up to Eric McMahon for the post-fight interview with our winner, Bobby Taylor. Super close fight there. That's what we thought would happen, split decision. Don't know if I agree with a 30-27, but, man, it was a great fight. Great fight.
I am here with your winner, ODB, Bobby Taylor. But I want to make sure James Warfield gets his due. This was one hell of a fight. Now, anybody who saw this fight, give it up one more time, James Warfield. Now, if anybody saw this fight on that sheet before the event started, you did not think that this was going to go to a decision. One person was getting knocked out. It looked like both of you landed bombs on each other. Were you surprised that those clean shots you hit him with did not drop him?
Yeah, a little bit. I said pretty heavy-handed. He was a super game opponent, very tough, and just a battle.
Now, this fight really came down to he won the third, you won the second. It was really who won the first round which decided this fight. It was razor close. He took the center of the cage, pushed you back, you looked to counter. Late in that round, which you were kind of getting a little edged out, late in that round, you got the takedown, hit him with some huge bombs. Do you think that first round is what decided this fight?
Yeah, I believe it was. Like the last two were a little back and forth. He won one, I won the other. But yeah, I think the first round made the difference.
How fun was it to have somebody stand in here and finally bang with Bobby Taylor?
Man, it was nice. Like I said, a lot of people say they will, but it usually doesn't go that way. He came ready to bang. It was a great fight.
Everybody, give it up for your winner, ODB, Bobby Taylor.
Man, impressive performance there by Bobby Taylor. Both fighters put it all on the line. Hard to pick a winner in that one. It was going to come down to the judge's decision, obviously. Split decision at that, so razor close. I'm not sure if I agree with 30-27, though, on the card for James Warfield, but it depends on what the judge saw there. They're sitting cage side. They got a better angle.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we roll into our third and final professional bout this evening, I'd like to ask you, are you having a good time? I said, are you having a good time? Ladies and gentlemen, we can't do this without you, the fans, and we can't do it without our sponsors. I'd like to thank again the Kirk Brothers, GMC, Ford, and Kirk Brother Power Sports. Mallet Furniture, All In Fitness, the Howell Law Office, Sleepless Steve's Mattress Club, and Integrated Communication. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Mr. Jeremy Rogers.
If you are tuning in expecting to see the Spider Monkey, Reggie Adams, fighting in this main event, he was unable to make weight, had to go to the hospital. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, Reggie. Stepping up on under 24 hours notice, Jeremy Rogers, who is not scared of a fight. Now, record-wise doesn't show it. And everybody's going to say Joshua Weems is going to storm right through this guy. But anybody who's seen Jeremy Rogers fights knows that he will stand and he will bang with you. And I have actually reffed a lot of his fights. He's got one punch KO power. Don't let this small frame fool you.
Yeah, and we're talking about a guy who fights out of the hit lab here. You know, we saw him in his last fight at Attitude Fights step in on short notice to fight Joe Pass, who we all know is a monster at welterweight.
He fought Joe Pass at 155. He weighed in at 145.
Okay, I thought it was a lightweight fight.
Yeah, it was a
lightweight
lightweight
fight. The size disparity is huge. We're talking about a guy who came in on less than 2 days' notice, I think, on that one.
And came in after eating a full meal and still only weighed 145.
Yeah, and stepped in to fight a guy who is a monster at that weight class.
Oh.
You know, a superior wrestler. I mean, just Joe Pass, you know, a guy that can fight like nobody's business.
Nobody is going to say Jeremy Rogers does not have a huge set of balls here.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, this guy will step in and fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. And that's what we see
pro
here tonight.
debut. He fought Brian the Law Hawk. Pro debut.
Yeah. Yeah.
As a manager, I'm not going to say that's not the smartest move, but you know what? This kid doesn't care.
It's not what he's in it for. You know, he's in it to be the guy that will step up and fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. And so you're looking at tonight this situation, you know, where he's stepping in on extremely short notice to go against a extremely game opponent in Joshua Weems.
Not only extremely game opponent, probably the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the arena, Mr. Joshua Weems.
So continuing on what we were talking about, Joshua Weems, what were you saying?
He's not only a game opponent. He is probably the best 145 within 5 states.
Right. Yeah, just an unbelievable prospect with Black Sails team.
He's 5-1. His only loss is to Christian Ocon, who just came off of the Ultimate, or just came off the Dana White Contender Series.
Yeah.
That is his only loss.
Yeah, and that was a great fight in itself. So, we're not talking about a one-sided, lopsided victory.
He is 5-1 as a pro. He was 7-1 as an amateur. Only loss, both Ami and pro, was to Christian Ocon.
Yeah, and a well-rounded fighter here. Got good striking, good grappling. Finished his last fight with a first-round arm triangle. Is that correct?
That is absolutely correct. And he is a homegrown fighter. Never did any wrestling, boxing, anything. Started with Black Sails MMA. Probably the team of the year.
Yeah.
The team of the year coming out of Jackson, Mississippi. Started with them, homegrown, came up, and now is the best 145er in the region.
Yeah.
And listen, I can't be a bigger fan of Joshua Weems. This kid is a stud. He's a hell of a nice guy, and he just wants to fight the best.
Yeah, super humble when we talked to him before the fights tonight, but ready to go, ready to get in there and do damage. Comes from that great team like you're talking about. Really, honestly, yeah, they probably have been the team of the year this year. Just producing unbelievable fighters who put on great fights. Their skill sets, they train these guys to handle every component of mixed martial arts. And I'm looking forward to this fight tonight. Jeremy stepping in and really taking this fight on short notice is going to be an uphill battle for him for sure when you're talking about a young lion like this.
And just watch the fluidity in which how this kid fights. Just the fluidity. He is an artist.
Yeah. You see that in these younger mixed martial artists that are coming up now, guys. I mean, these guys are well-rounded, and they are so fluid. I mean, I couldn't put it better than the way you just said that. That is what they do best. Guys like Jesse James Wallace, all these, Christian Ocon, all these younger guys that are coming up that have been training for years since they were kids. It's unbelievable where this sport's going.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, our final bout of the evening, our main event. Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout is a professional contest scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds and is a catch weight. Introducing first in the blue corner, a freestyle shoot fighter looking for his first professional win in the Attitude Cage, standing 5 feet 7 inches tall, weighing 135 or so pounds, fighting out of Memphis, Tennessee, representing the Hit Lab. Make some noise for German Lil Rowdy Rogers! Ladies and gentlemen, the red corner of mixed martial artists with a professional record of 5 wins, 1 loss, standing 5 feet 8 inches tall, weighing 150 pounds, fighting out of your very own Jackson, Mississippi, representing Black Sails MMA. Make some noise. Give it up for Joshua Wide Open Weems. Third man in charge of the action, Mr. Jason Aldridge. Bring him in.
All right, guys, we went over the rules earlier tonight. Let's give these guys a show. Ready? 1, 2, 3, we're going to come out, right?
The instructions
Ladies
by,
and gentlemen, let's get it on.
Instructions by Jason Aldridge, the third man in the cage. Our main event, Jeremy Little Rowdy Rogers taking on Josh Wide Open Weems. Pro main event.
Touch of the gloves to get started here.
These guys are talking to each other in there.
A little conversation. I'm not sure what it's about. Might have caught him with a little cup shot there. I'm not sure.
I think they said this might have been getting a little too ugly too quick. Josh Weems, I think he just wants to see what he's got right there.
Yeah, Jeremy Rogers is kind of talking to him.
That leg kick.
He's not afraid of it.
Oh,
man. Digging out the underhook there. He caught the kick there, but it's going to be hard to transition that right now.
Jeremy Rogers just being a little unconventional.
Very unconventional, which, you know, I don't remember seeing him fight this way before, Eric. Have you?
You know, against Brian Hall in his first fight against Brian Hall, he really tries to throw. He was trying to throw Brian Hall off this ways too.
Yeah, he's switching stances a little bit, kind of doing some unorthodox things with his hands there, and then throwing flurries like that. That's the second time he's done that tonight.
Jeremy Rogers.
Those leg kicks are hurting though, Eric. Those leg kicks are tough.
He's going to go with a knee right up top. Well, look at these transitions, Josh Weems. He goes front headlock to then, going to a, kind of a far side tight waist.
Yeah, it looks extremely comfortable.
Punches right off the break.
Yeah, rushing in.
Looked like he got clipped.
Yeah, he might have got clipped, but then Jeremy kind of just stumbled on that shot. So we'll see what we can do on the ground here. Transition straight into half guard.
It's wide open half guard, too.
Yeah, and Weems is just liking this position. He's probably going to sit here and try to posture up and rain down some ground and pound.
A lot of good just ground and pound fighters love this half guard position. Jeremy Rogers is in a lot of trouble right here.
Yeah,
he doesn't really know what to do.
He's up against the cage here. Not a good position to be in with a guy like Weems on top of you. I'm not really sure. Looks like maybe his mouthpiece fell.
We just called the fight off. He just called the fight off. I think Jeremy Rogers tapped out. I think Jeremy Rogers tapped out right there. Josh Weems is saying come on, man.
Yeah.
Jeremy Rogers is pleading his case on why he tapped out, but Joshua Weems wants none of that.
I'm a little speechless here myself. I saw his mouthpiece come out, from the strikes. So I'm not sure if he was tapping, wanting to get his mouth, but you can't call timeout in mixed martial arts, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know what to think of that. Joshua Weems obviously very unhappy with the way this one ended, but he does move on with his 6th professional victory. A little lackluster in our main event based off the few other fights that we had right before it, but hey, Josh Weems, the kid's a stud.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 2 minutes, 20 seconds in the first round, winner by verbal submission, red corner, Mr. Joshua Wide Open Weems.
So Joshua Weems with Black Sails MMA getting the victory here.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Mr. Eric McMahon.
Moving on to a professional record, 6 wins, Joshua Weems. Now, I know you're really disappointed in the way this fight ended. Can't say I blame you, but you did your job. You showed up, you made weight. I know we're all really thinking about Reggie, hoping he gets well soon, but you did the job that you needed to do. Jeremy Rogers stepped up on 24 hours notice. How do you feel about the fight tonight? Hey, Jeremy Rogers stepped up in under 24 hours notice, so give it up to my man, Jeremy Rogers. So, again, tell me how you're feeling right now.
Man, I really, I feel bad for attitude. I mainly feel bad for all my supporters who always come to all my fights. They expected a 15-minute war. Reggie took that from them. I hope the best. I hope he gets better. But Reggie, if you want to do it at 45, baby, I'll come up. Let's get it. I don't care. You done pissed me off, bro. Let's go. Let's go. And hey, y'all give another round of applause for Jeremy Rogers, man. He didn't have to come in here. I mean, one day notice who wants to fight a killer. I mean, I'm nothing shorter than a killer, all right? So, round of applause to him, and thank you for Scotty Schwanger and Jesse James Wallace for pulling through and making this fight happen.
So I got one more thing to say, because in my honest opinion, you're on the cusp. The next logical place for you to go is either Legacy, Bellator, or the UFC. I know that you want Reggie next. But what do you think is really in store for Joshua Weems?
Either that or that Ocon strap, whichever one makes sense. Let's get it. I mean, I need a strap in one of these organizations, whether it be Attitude or LFA, Bellator, UFC, I don't care. That's my next goal, is to get that strap. I don't care if I got 5 fights left. I don't care. Y'all can all get it. Anybody at 35. Real talk. Hey, big shout out to Crossroads Cafe. Big shout out to my chiropractor, Clayton Pitts. all my people that drove, my mama, my beautiful mother right there, come from Florida, my whole family, my whole team. I mean, you know, got my boys from the SIP, you know what I'm talking about, PLS. I mean, I got love from everywhere, and I couldn't do it without y'all, man. Y'all fuel this fire. I appreciate it. Carmen Jade, what's up, baby?
Josh Weems, ladies and gentlemen.
Impressive victory. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us tonight. We hope to see you for the next one. Remember, check us out at www.attitudemma.com, and remember, attitude is everything.
Hey, all my fans that came here, hey, look, I know these people are trying to get this place cleaned up. Please, if you came here and supported me, come in this cage right now. Let's get a group picture. Please, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Super impressive performance there by Josh Weems, and congratulations to him on the victory. Great night of fights here at Attitude 20. We had a big card here in Greenwood, Mississippi at the Leflore Civic Center. Happy to have everybody come out. This is Grant Gibbs signing off with his partner Eric McMahon. We'll look